must-win season of his coaching era at Bunkie. So very important game. It's a must-win game. I think it's very important.
And I think we also set another record tonight, Josh. It's homecoming again.
Homecoming again.
That might be 5 in a row. So, and the Panthers have been great on homecoming night. So.
Right. They have a stellar record. I don't want to jinx it. I'm not going to tell you the record, but so they have a stellar record on homecoming night. Hopefully they can keep it going. Some of the players I'm going to be watching for tonight for Bunkie is Xavier Wells, Mike. He had a good game against Winfield late. I think he's going to get a lot more carries tonight with him and Washington in the backfield. And we'll see if the Panther offense can have some production against this very big defensive line of Lakeview. And so we'll send it back to the station. I got to catch up with Nick a little bit earlier, Coach Nick, for the pregame interview. Kickoff is right at 11 minutes away. We're going to take a quick break. Keep it tuned here on Z95.9.
Farm Bureau proudly supports our Bunkie Panthers. Hey, this is Josh Sauseda, your local Farm Bureau agent. If you're looking for great rates, fast claims, and real service, give me a call at 318-201-0577. Join our family so we can take care of yours.
Great rates, fast claims, real service, auto, home, and life. Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting night of Bunkie Panther football here on KZLG 95.9. This mighty Bunkie Panther football pregame radio show is sponsored by your Avoyles Parish Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Josh Sauseda. Now let's turn it over to Josh with head football coach Nick Pujol for this week's hard-hitting matchup.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Bunkie Panther Radio. This is the pregame show brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. I'm Josh Sauseda, here with head coach Nick Pujol. Before we get started, Coach, I know you're focused on Lakeview tonight as we're here in Coshada, Louisiana, but I want to congratulate you on your victory last week against Avoyles, a district game, your first home win of the season, and a game you're probably coming in as the underdog. Tell us how important that win was for you and your team.
Well, for this season, obviously, it was important to kind of keep the momentum going. We had 2 in a row coming into that game, so to be able to get 3 in a row is really, really good for team morale. And then just historically, it's been a long time since we beat Avoyles, since 2010 to be exact, so it was finally good to get that win over a team that's been an up-and-coming program and kind of been taking it to us. It was really, really good to beat them, but I've kind of already put that behind me and been focusing on the Gators.
That win makes it 3 in a row, so we can officially call it a winning streak. So how's the morale and focus in the locker room after 3 consecutive wins?
It's pretty good, man. Momentum does some amazing things with high school kids. It can go against you, and it can go for you. And right now it's going with us and going for us. So week's been good. Everybody's upbeat, feeling pretty good. Coaches, faculty, whole campus is upbeat and alive. So no, it's really good right now.
Now, every week when I visit your facility, you have a different message on your whiteboard, and every week it changes. What's the message this week in the home stretch of the season?
The focus of the week for the Lakeview game was details. So that goes all the way to making sure that your locker is clean and organized the way that it needs to be, all the way up to what color wristband does the opposing player wear, on what arm is that wristband, what color are his shoes, like how does he dress, how does he move, what does his stance look like? Like I want to know every detail. I mean, the boys were looking up Instagram accounts, all sorts of stuff. So this week was all details. I want you to be very detail-oriented about everything around you this week.
Now, it has been an unusual season, with COVID and everything, but football is still being played. Football is still a violent sport. It's a collision sport. Most people think it's a contact sport, but it's actually a collision sport. And every team takes its bumps and bruises along the way. That being said, how's your overall health of your team after 6 games?
Knock on wood, it's pretty darn good. This is probably the first week that we held out a few guys from contact just to allow them to heal up all the way. But there's no one with a major injury that's going to keep them from playing tonight. And knock on wood, we've been very fortunate with everything else going on this year. Typically, injuries bite us. I feel like, especially over the last 4 or 5 games, we've been pretty healthy. And even though we held a few out of contact this week, everybody should be good to go tonight.
Now, tonight against Lakeview, I watched some film on them earlier in the week, and my opinion, they're probably the biggest team you faced so far this year. I mean, they are just huge, especially offensive line and defensive line. Skilled players also, they're big all the way around. What ways do you plan on overcoming that big size difference tonight?
Yes, they are big. They are by far the biggest team that will play across the board. How do we plan to overcome the size difference? With kind of what you asked me last week, with our fight and tenacity. I mean, this Bunkie team, if you watch this play, the kids play very, very hard with a lot of effort all the way through the end of the whistle. And that's what it's going to take again tonight. It's going to be 4 quarters. Lakeview's been a team that's played us extremely tough the last 30 years. And I'm expecting nothing different from Coach Hounds and crew tonight.
Good deal. Well, good luck to you, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.
Panthers look to keep the momentum going as they try and take down the Gators for their 4th consecutive district win. Thanks for tuning in to the Farm Bureau pregame show here on Bunkie Panther Radio. Kickoff is just moments away.
We hope you've enjoyed tonight's pregame show with play-by-play announcer Josh Sauseda and head football coach Nick Pujol of the mighty Bunkie Panther Radio Network. This pregame show has been brought to you by your Boyles Parish Farm Bureau insurance agent Josh Sauseda. Coming up, another exciting night of Bunkie Panther football here on KZLG 95.9 or online kzlgradio.com.
Time for Riding Shotgun with the Gunslinger. Tough questions for football tough guy, Brett Favre.
Dear Brett, my dog is too fat to jump in my truck. What should I do? First, go to favrates.com for a great auto quote in 4 minutes from Farm Bureau. Then, put your dog on a diet or get a little trampoline so it can bounce in your truck. Tough call. I'd go trampoline.
Great rates, fast claims, real service, auto, home, and life. Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau.
All right, welcome back, folks. Again, Josh Sauseda here alongside Michael Rebouche, broadcasting live here in Kempsey, Louisiana. If you don't know where that is, it's somewhere between Natchitoches and Shreveport.
Yeah, we took a couple roads. I remember that.
Good thing for GPS.
Nice facility here. Coming out to do the coin flip, Josh, will be number 32 for the Gators.
That is, number 32 is Mikhail Slaughter.
And also Austin Temple will be number 4 for the Panthers, and Slaughter got him about 150 pounds.
Yeah, you're going to see Mikhail Slaughter for Lakeview play some running back, fullback, and a little linebacker. He's probably going to be their leading tackler if he has his way tonight. Good at the linebacker position. Austin Temple, again, as captain. They only send one captain to midfield now with COVID restrictions. And here is the coin toss. We'll see what it is. While the coin toss is going on, we do want to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Without our sponsors, you would not be able to listen to the game from the comfort of your home. We want to thank pregame sponsor Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau. Thank you, Josh. Kickoff, Sean Supercenter. First downs, Plumlight LLC. Touchdowns and postgame, sponsored by Vaughn Motors. Halftime and player of the game, sponsored by La Pointe Eye Clinic. Scores and updates, Central Louisiana Insurance Consultants. Other sponsors include J&J Exterminating, Capital Sign of Bunkie, and Barry Les, attorney at law there in Marksville.
All right. They got the Panthers did win the toss, and they elected to defer to the second half. Third week in a row, they've done it, which worked.
We're getting ready for the national anthem. Kickoff is about a minute and a half away. We'll take a quick break. Back to the studio, Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Farm Bureau proudly supports our Bunkie Panthers. Hey, this is Josh Sauseda, your local Farm Bureau agent. If you're looking for great rates, fast claims, and real service, give me a call at 318-201-0577. Join our family so we can take care of yours.
Great rates, fast claims, real service, auto, home, and life. Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau.
Sean Supercenter in Hesper now carries a full line of guns and ammunition. If you're looking for a deal just in time for hunting season, call 597-9940 or stop by and ask about our special prices on steel and lead shot. Rio steel shot starts at just $109.99 a case, and Rio lead shot starts at just $99.99 a case. We sell top name brand guns in any caliber you need at the best prices around. Right now, the popular CVA 35 Wayland is priced at a low $279.99. Don't forget to fill up for your trip with quality Exxon gas at our Easy In and Easy Out gas pumps. And don't forget that our meat department can help start your trip the right way with the freshest meat cut just the way you like it. You don't want to miss a minute of hunting season, and you definitely don't want to miss the deals going on now at Sean Super Center in Hesmer.
If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to pay less, that's our business. Bond value.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. One great deal.
Bond value.
Now that's a bond value.
Hi, welcome back, folks. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast. Tonight, the Panthers are about to kick it off. The Lakeview Gators, big district game tonight here on the road. Josh Sauseda here along with Michael Rebouche, and kickoff is just moments away. Like we said, the Panthers won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they'll be kicking it off right to left. Back to a siege for the Lakeview Gators is number 2, Kevin Hickman, and another player I can't see his
I think it's
number.
number 12, Josh. It's 16.
Number 16 don't have him on the roster. Doing the kick-in for Bunkie. Looks like Hayden Sauseda is teeing it up.
Number 5.
But John Michael Lees is right behind him. They may send him in the kick. Hayden just might be teeing it up.
Kind of a little different look here, Josh, for the Panthers on the kickoff. Hayden has been known to kick the onside kick from here.
That's right. Panthers tonight dressed red helmets, white tops, white pants with a red stripe. Gators, white helmets, orange tops, white bottoms. Kind of look like the Florida Gators out there. Ball is teed up. Here it is. John Michael Lees is going to do a little squeak kick to the far side, and a flag is down. This could be illegal procedure. It has to be
Somebody offside, and
so it was a really good kick. I think the Panthers might have had a chance to recover it, but that's going to back them up another 5 yards, and we'll try the kick once again.
14 had a chance at it. He was like, he didn't want. He's going to have it go.
So they're going to back that up to the 40 now, and we'll try it again. Again, kicking it off right to left. So Sean Super Center kick off.
Lakeview didn't come up, Josh. They stayed back at the 50.
They sure did, and we got
Stay back at the 50. That's a big chance right here. After that, they realizing they're coming up now. They're making a mistake.
Yeah, the kickoff return team has to be at least 10 yards from where the ball's teed up. They were about 15, and they just came up. It's going to be the same kick, a square kick to the far side. It's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty, illegal kick, and give the Lakeview Gators the ball on the 40-yard line, moving left to right. That also comes out to the huddle. Big offensive line night. Got some skilled players. Number 19, Dylan Pikes plays receiver, running back. Like I said, number 32, Mikhail Suarter is going to play some running back. And do you remember last year at home how Lakeview won that game?
They came down to 10 seconds in the last part of the game, and we missed 2 tackles, and the guys still beat us. So there was a nail biter all over the end.
Braden Woods, quarterback, as the Gators come out with a 3-receiver set, 2 to the near side, 1 to the top. He's in a shotgun with Pikes to his left. Panthers playing a 4-3 defense in the box. Ball placed right at the 51-yard line. It's going to be a gift to number 19 up the gut. And he's going to get about 2 yards before being tackled. Takes it to about the 48-yard line.
Well, when he first got the ball, every thought he was going through the hole. He kind of stopped and let him get to him. They're going to give him 1 yard. Josh will be 2nd and 9.
Right past the 2nd and 9 to the Gators. Ball placed at the 48-yard line in Panther territory, moving left to right. That'd be a 1-yard gain there for Dylan Pike. You know, their starting running back, Adonis Jones, is injured, had a season-ending injury.
And he's on the sideline in a booth on crutches. You know, you hate for that for any kid, especially when you're a senior.
Absolutely. A full receiver set for the Gators in the shotgun. Woods takes the snap. He's looking to pass. Drops back. Got some time. He does let it go. And it's going to be incomplete. Overthrows the intended receiver, Mikhail Slaughter. That's plenty of time.
It was thrown for 32, but the Panthers were a lot quicker than he was able to get back there. He didn't have a chance to that ball.
Yeah, the top of Howard being Montalvo on the coverage, playing the deep save there. That stops the clock with 11:07 here in the opening quarter. And now the Gators are looking at a 3rd and 9 from the Panther 48 moving left to right.
I told you one matchup's going to be number 50 Kesman on that defensive end. And he beat him that time. He just didn't quite get to the football.
Kesman stands up now from the defensive end position. Woods drops back to pass. It's going to be incomplete, almost intercepted there by Hayden Sauseda, falling out of his hand.
Yeah, he just missed that football. I think he wanted to run with it, and he looked back and he didn't have it.
Nevertheless, that stops the clock right at 11:02, and the Gators, it looks like they might want to go for it.
Well, no, I heard the guy in the press box say they punt just like we do sometimes out of the quarterback position. I think that's what you're going to see. He's a lot further back, Josh. I think this will be a punt.
4th and 9 for the Gators. Woods in a shotgun position, but he is about 7 yards off the ball. He may be punting in this formation. It is. It's going to be a punt. A low line drive. Howard's going to take it in about the 20. He's going to cross the 30, and he's going to be wrestled down at about the 30-yard line. So the offense will take over.
Yeah, and Mike, a little short, small point, right at Howard. And the big lineman, 79, right down there, and made it. He locked up the tackle, so that's pretty good hustle for the offensive lineman.
So the Panthers will get their first look on offense here in the opening quarter. We got 2:50 on the game clock. 1st and 10 from the 31, moving right to left. The Panthers come out with 3 receivers to the near side, bunched up around the numbers, 1 to the top. Rebouche, empty backfield in the shotgun. They've had an up back, that's Washington. He's going to send Wells in motion. It's going to be a toss again to the far side. He's got the edge. He's got a blocker. He'll throw a flag down as Wells crosses the 40. It's a foot race now. He's at the 20. He's going to be knocked out of bounds inside the 5, but there is a flag.
I did say, right, from that defensive inside, it had to be a hold over there. But you can tell right now, Wells got the edge, and there was not many of them. You said 19 the fastest kid, and he's the only one that could get to him.
And I was expecting a big game from Wells here tonight. He's going to be taking a lot of snaps at the running back position.
So we had a few games where we went through this spell with penalties, and they deleted big plays, and that was one right there that the Panthers didn't need to hold right there.
So it's going to repeat down, but back him up 10. It's going to be 1st and 20. Ball was at the 31. Now it's going to be at the 21. It's moving right to left. 1st and 20. First play of the game. Now you're playing 2 yards behind.
When you run for about a 60-yard touchdown.
Let's see if the Panthers can overcome this. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Sauseda at the up back. Rebouche in the shotgun. He's going to send Washington in motion. He's going to fake the toss to him. Rebouche's going to throw it up. He does have a man open, and he's going to get across the 30, and he falls down around the 22-yard line as he's tackled. Just big play there.
Rebouche just stepped back, and he hit Howard running down the sideline in stride.
We're going to call that a 44-yard pass. I just said how they're going to overcome this 1st and 20. Well, they got 44 yards.
You did 44 yards. One at a time. And he had good coverage. Howard just outran at the end, and the ball was right there, straight down the field.
Perfectly placed ball by Rebouche. Gets the Panthers inside the 25 here in Gator territory. Double formation. Rebouche in the shotgun. Here's a snap. Rebouche's going to keep it himself to the far side, and he's going to be in for the touchdown from 23 yards out. Touchdown Panthers.
He fooled me, Josh. I thought Sauseda had it. He was running with it, and Rebouche kept it, and he scored from 20 yards out.
23-yard touchdown. That's Rebouche's first carry of the ball game. And that's 2 big plays back-to-back, Mike. A 44-yard pass, 23-yard run. Picked up 6 points.
And that was 3 big plays. We got a holding penalty right before that. The Panthers look like they're going to have success moving the football.
10 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. John Michael Lee sets up for the point after. They usually fool me on that gear play. This time they fool me. I said, why don't they tackle Lakeview jumps off sides there on the extra point? So that to get the Panthers a little bit closer to the goal line, but I don't see why they wouldn't just attempt the extra point again.
Yeah, they really fooled me. Sauseda, they left him alone, and they left him alone too, so I don't know who to tackle him about.
One thing about the Panthers, whenever you run that big play, our backs do a really good job of carrying out their fakes, and that could hold a linebacker in place for 2-3 seconds, and that's all it takes.
When you get past and it's over, you're looking back in the backfield still, and it's too late.
Panthers are going to decline that penalty as Lakeview jumps off sides, and they just want to try the point after. Same spot. Rebouche doing the holding. Sauseda deep snapping. There's a snap, good hold, the kick is up, and it looks straight from here, Mike. So it is good. So with 10 minutes left to go here in the first quarter, Panthers, 2 big plays, score on top of Lakeview 7-0. We'll take a quick break. You listen to Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Louisiana pests can be a formidable opponent, but J&J Exterminating is ready to tackle them on their own turf. J&J Exterminating is Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, and we know what works in Louisiana's climate, from ants to termites and everything in between. J&J Exterminating will protect your home or business with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get the shield.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Welcome back, folks. We got a 7-0 ball game. Panthers on top with 10 minutes left to go here in the opening quarter. Rebouche scored a 23-yard Vaughn Motor touchdown on the ground. John Michael Lee kicked the extra point, and here is the Shawn Supercenter kickoff. We're kicking off right to left. Ball teed up right at the 40. It's going to be another squib kick to the far side. It's going to go out of bounds. Looks just like the opening kickoff. That's going to be the flag and give Lakeview the ball right at midfield here on offense. Lakeview, their opening drive was a 3-and-out. Ran the ball once, gained a yard, 2 incomplete passes.
Really kind of nice a lot more than I thought. They got a real big back in 32 and 19, and they come out throwing the football at you.
And their offensive line, I know we say it every week, Mike, but that's just because Bunkie's a small football team.
Yeah, we're small, we're quick, and we're getting to the point of attack. I'm going to tell you, that 74 or 75, whatever he is, Josh, he's over 350.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
I would say the offensive line averages about 260 pounds, but they're coming out to throw the ball. 2 receivers to the near side. Wood in the shotgun is a pistol. It's tossed here to the near side. The Pike is going to get across the line of scrimmage and be tackled across the 45. There on the tackle is Donovan Morton Hayes along with Sauseda and Trevor Gio. 2-yard pickup by Pike.
He's so far back. He was about 6 yards when he got the ball. He ran 3 yards, but he only picked up 2.
They don't run that formation a whole lot by watching film. Every time they're in the pistol, they only run about 2 or 3 plays, and that's one of them. I think the Panthers are very prepared for that. 2nd and 8 for the Gators. Ball at the 46, moving left to right. 3 receivers set. Woods in the shotgun. Low snap. He's going to fumble it. Ball hits the turf, and I think the Panthers
I know, it's just away from him, Josh. I think Lakeview may have fell back on it. Almost a huge mistake by the quarterback, but Lakeview able to recover it.
After that fumble, that's going to back them up about 3 yards. Now the Gators are looking at a 3rd and 11. Ball at the 43-yard line, moving left to right.
Almost looked like the quarterback wanted to give it and decided he wasn't, and he didn't have the football after that.
I agree with you from right here. I mean, the ball's right in front of us where we're at in the press box. It looked like just a miscommunication. Big 3rd down play for the Panther defense, 3rd and 11. Gators come out in double formation, and the Gators are going to take a timeout. Yeah, we'll take a timeout. 8:41 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top 7-0. You listen to Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Capital Signs and Awnings is a nationwide sign manufacturer and service provider based right here at home in Bunkie. There's no job too large or too small. So give us a call for all of your signage needs. Call 318-346-9898. Here's that number again, 318 346-9898. Capital Signs and Awnings of Bunkie.
Now, welcome back, folks. 8:41 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top 7-0. Gators are on offense, but they're looking at a 3rd and 11 in their own territory. Ball at about the 43. They just took a timeout. Mike, and they're about to take the field again. I couldn't tell what the official just blew the whistle and did something. I don't know what that was about. So the Gators are looking at a big third down play here on offense. They have yet to get a first down, and the Panthers defense has played very well so far. In 3rd and 11, Woods in a shotgun. That's Braden Woods at quarterback. 2 receivers to the near side. He drops back to tag. The rush is on. It's going to be a screen up the middle. That's going to be complete to number 2, Whitman. He's trying to fight off some tacklers and get to the edge. He's going to get about 3 yards. But good pursuit there by the Panther defense. I think that's the longest play I've ever seen throwing and not going anywhere. There was a screen, a couple of guys missed him, but the Panthers forced him to the sidelines, Josh, and he only picked up 2 yards in the whole play. So that'll obviously bring up a punt situation for the Gators. You would think, I've seen Boone go for it last week on a 4th and, 18 or something from the goal line, so anything is possible. So 4th and 8, from the Gators' own 46-yard line, spread formation. Like I said, I'm assuming it will be. Yeah, and he's back just like the last time. He's probably back 7 to 8 yards. He's only got one back beside him, so he looks like he's going to probably put, and he's not, Josh, he's keeping it. Here's the ball. Intercepted by Hayden Sauseda up the middle. He's going to be tackled. Turnover. Bunkie defense gives the Panthers the ball back right at midfield. Sauceda's a little short cat just sitting in the middle of the field, and I don't think he saw it. I don't think so either. Good awareness there by the linebacker. I think he had a chance to pick up the ball in the opening drive, gets his hands on that one, intercepts the ball. Now the Panther offense has good field position on that. Yeah, real good, big turnover for the Panthers. And the Panthers are all over that. They had him double covered. It was kind of the same look. Josh kind of surprising. We thought he was going to kick Howard even back up for the kick. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers, moving right to left. Ball at the 48-yard line in their own territory. Spread formation. Rebouche is going to give it up the middle. That's Jalen Washington. He's going to be tackling in the backfield. Good play there by the Lakeview defensive line. They're going to tackle him for a loss. Maybe it was 1 or 2, Mike. Yeah, that was the same play that they ran to the touchdown. They swallowed him up. Graham would have took that one around the end, too. There was nobody there. They're going to come back to that play. So 2nd and 12 now. That backs the Panthers up to about the 46-yard line. Moving right to left. Game clock at 7:45 and counting. Again, the Panthers on top 7-0. Bunkie comes out with 2 receivers to each side. Shotgun formation. Wide split by the offensive line tonight. Here's the snap. Graham Rebouche is going to keep it himself, and all of a sudden he's going to pass it out to the far side, and that's Logan Schindler. Slips the tackle, gets to about the 50. That was an RPO. That was just Graham making a play. I don't know if he was supposed to throw that. I think that because Lakeview, the lineman got through and Graham broke the tackle, there was nowhere to go, and he just got out for the back. So 3rd and 8, ball right on the 50-yard line, and this is the Panthers' first 3rd down look on offense. Let's see if they can convert it here. Come out of 2 backs in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the near side. Here's a snap. It's going to be a give up here to the near side. Washington stays on his feet. He's being spun around, and he's going to lose the yard tackle there. I think they may be keying in on Jalen Washington. That can carry for no gain. When you watch this on film, guys, I mean, we've come out so many different looks. I imagine it's a defensive nightmare to try to cover all these guys. You're gonna take the quarterback, you're going to try to cover Washington, or you're going to take the pass away. It's hard. So the Panthers are looking at a 4th and 11 in their own territory, ball at about the 47-yard line. We come out in the split formation, but we do punt out of this formation as well. Let's see what Coach Dick wants to do here. Here's the snap. Rebouche's going to drop back to pass. He looks. He's going to pass it. It's going to be complete to number 2. Davian Wells hits a couple tackles, and he's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. First down for the Panthers. What a pass, Josh. That was about a 30-yard pass down the field. 23-yard pass from Rebouche to Davian Wells. First down. 4th and 11. Covenant goes for it and throws a bullet up the middle to get a first down. I told you before the game, and we were talking, and I saw the matchup on the field, and that was the matchup we had right there. The Panthers have a fresh set of downs, ball on the 31-yard line in Gator territory now, moving right to left. Trip receivers here to the near side, one to the top. Jalen Washington steps to Rebouche's right. Rebouche takes a snap. It's going to be option to the far side. He pitches it to Washington, and he's got the high field, and he's going to score from 31 yards out. Touchdown, Panthers. I'll tell you what, Josh, he had to make a decision. Did he hit Rebouche or Washington? And Rebouche took the leg. Man, it looked like Washington was a shot out of a cannon. He did. Once he got the guy come after the quarterback, when he did, he leveled up, but he threw the pitch, and when he did, Washington was gone. But that option play with a pitch man really puts the defender in a bind. I mean, it can be defended well if everybody takes care of the assignment, but if it's not, one guy in a bind. And you don't want one guy on Washington, and that's what happened right there. It's 13-0 after a little extra point, and the kick is going to be up, and it is good. 14-0 after a 31-yard touchdown run by Jalen Washington. Vaughn Motors touchdown. 5:13 left to go here in the first quarter. We're not going to go to break, Mike. I want to talk to you. What do you think about the offense starting now? It's totally different. We've seen it do this in the comeback games. And you always said if they come out and do this, they're harder to defend. I think Lakeview's watched film, and they were going to stop the pitch. They were going to stop the run. We're stopping the run, but we're throwing the ball now. Well, our 2 touchdowns have come on the ground, but I think the passing game is opening up the run. It's got them spread out. And we're able to get to the outside, the middle's wide open, and the throws are there. The story has been mainly about the defense the past 3 games here in district play, how the Panther defense has played well. They're all playing well tonight, but the offense is just on fire coming out. Hopefully they can keep this momentum going. Here's the Sean Super Center kickoff, kicking off right to left. It's going to be an onside kick, and it's taken in by Slaughter. There's a line drive. I think that was Nick Bain. Nick kicked the block game when he had a clear out. And Nick Bain kicked the line drive in his chest, and the lineman's not supposed to catch that. He caught that right at the 50, and that's where the ball will be placed for the Gator offense to take over. How many kickers have we had this year? Well, that's 3 for sure. Looking it off. That's 3. They're going to respot it at the 49, moving left to right. 1st and 10 for the Gators. That's the football that usually flies off your shoulder pads into the air. Yeah, Lakeview fortunate to get that back. You had sticky fingers on that one. Lakeview comes out in a pistol formation. Woods is under center. 3 backs behind him. The receiver to each side. The ball is on the ground, but the whistles are blown. I think a flag is on the field. The Panthers were offside. It looked like number 50. I don't want to jinx this, but I saw it lined up, and it was an offside. And that's what it is, Mike. Offsides on the Panthers. That's Kevin Armstrong trying to get a head start, and it's going to give the Gators a 3-5 yards as the ball moves across midfield now to about the 46-yard line. Still first down, 1st and 5 for the Lakeview Gators. That offside is really Lakeview's biggest play so far. Wow. Yeah, it's true. Same formation, pistol formation. It's going to be a give to the further side. If Pike can get through the first wave of defenders, he's going to have a first down as he crosses the 40 to about the 39-yard line. We'll call that an 8-yard gain there by number 19, Dylan Pike. And that is the longest play for the game. I don't know. He looked like he come through the hole running wide open, but he was going forward like he was waiting for somebody to hit him. And there wasn't anybody there. He really tripped himself. 1st and 10 for the Gators. Woods under center. It's like two fullbacks behind him, and then a running back behind him. It's going to be handed to the up back number 32. He is a load. I thought it was number 58. That was a lineman that got the football. That's going to be Ireland for about a 7-yard gain. What a load. They had him as a blocking back, the previous play, they give him the ball on that play, and he's going to gain 8 yards.
You're talking about a 6'4", 280-pound boy hitting him on top of him trying to make a tackle.
Wearing number 68.
Yeah, in the back.
So you don't expect them to have the ball. Same formation, Woods under center. Going to give the Pike behind his blockers, and he's going to get across the 30 to about the 29. He may have first down yardage right at the 6, and I think he's going to have it. That'll be a pickup of 2, and it's really, really close. And we have, no, we don't have a third down. Somebody's tying their shoe. Not nice. First down, Lakeview Gators. They just call it there.
3:59 in the first quarter, and the Panthers lead 14-0.
Well, it looked like Lakeview come out passing the ball the first 2 drives, and now they're trying to pound the ball up the middle. They're having some success running the ball right up the middle. Up back is Slaughter. Woods in the shotgun with 3 receivers set. He's going to keep it himself, call his own number. He's going to be met right up the middle by a middle linebacker. That's 54 after he gained 3 yards.
That was 54 in the top of Josh. That's going to be Redmond.
Good job there by Redmond. They're going to give him 3. Again, that's Woods. Braden Woods called his own number. They're just straight quarterback keep right there.
Yeah, and Lakeview, they're having success. Their line's huge. So they're going to try to pound our defensive line now and move the football.
So 2nd and 8 from the Panther. We'll call it 27-yard line, moving left to right. 3 receivers, 2 back. That's Pike and Slaughter on each side of Woods. He's going to give it to Pike here on the near side. He's got some room, and he's going to get to about the 21-yard line. Good pick up there on the near side by Pike. He's going to be 2 yards short of the first down. Gators kind of settled down and found something that worked for them.
They're moving real slow. They're just like at this only small pace here.
Me and you talked about it in pregame before we went on the air, how the Panthers just look very conditioned this year against great football.
I think a lot of the games in the fourth quarter, we controlled the game and we were a lot more, had a lot more stamina.
And Lakeview always looks like they're looking at 3rd and 3 is going to be a keeper by Woods on the far side. He flips the tackle. He is going to have first down yardage as he gets near the 17-yard line. First down Gators. Had a pickup of 5. Now they're kind of doing what Bunkie does on offense.
So he had no field play. That's what he did. He faked the handoff and kept it.
So first set it down for the Gators. They're now in the red zone. Inside the Panther 20, we'll call it 17, moving left to right.
And you can tell, Josh, they stacked all their field players in the backfield. Earlier they had them spread out.
Woods is under center, and looks like a timeout is called. Bunkie calls timeout. They want to figure this out on defense. They lead this one, though. Bunkie on top, 14-0 with 1:46 left to go here in the open quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You listen to Bunkie Panther Radio on Z95.9.
For all your eye care needs, it's LaPointe Eye Clinic in Bunkie. Dr. Paul LaPointe and his staff invite you in. Glasses, contact lenses, eye exams. It's all in one place. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive. Call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
All right, welcome back, folks. Thanks for joining the broadcast. Josh Sauseda alongside Michael Rebouche here, broadcasting live from Kansas, Louisiana. The Panthers have just taken a timeout. They're on defense. They're up, though, 14-0 here in the opening quarter with 1:46 left to go. It's 1st and 10 for the Gators. Gators, this is the 3rd drive of the football game after the first 2 or 3 out there moving the ball tonight, Mike. They're moving the ball in this drive.
They found something up the middle, and they've just been pounding out defensive line.
It's going to be the give to Dylan Island again on the right side. He's going to get a few. He's still moving the pile.
He's huge.
He's going to pick up about 5 yards.
The Panthers are going to have to get low, start hitting him at his legs, and they're trying to pull the football. And when you got a guy that don't hardly carry the ball a whole lot, sometimes you're very susceptible for the fumble.
Yeah, first of all, he wears number 68, which tells me he's primarily a lineman. Okay, they lost their star running back, Udonis Jones, so they must have filled that big back void with the lineman who's carrying the ball. He's doing well. Pick up a 5. That's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Gators. Same formation. It's going to be a goal line for Woods. He's got nobody in front of him. A good tackle there. Trevor Gill, he didn't bite. He got out there and he made a one-on-one tackle with the quarterback. If not, he would score a touchdown. No gain. That was a touchdown saving tackle. It was a fake to the near side. Woods keeps it to the far side. The only player out there was Trevor Gill. And what great closing speed he had to chase down that quarterback and tackle him for no gain. We're under 40 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. 3rd down and about 6 to go for the Gators. Here's a snap. It's going to be hand off the Pike, and he's going to get across the 14. He's going to be pushed back, but I think they're getting forward target. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, Josh. Maybe a yard. It's going to be a big 4th down and about 3 or 4. Yeah, 4th down and 4 from about the 13-yard line, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. So after 1 quarter of play, the Panthers lead 14-0. You listen to Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Time for Riding Shotgun with the Gunslinger. Tough questions for football tough guy, Brett Favre.
Dear Brett, my dog is too fat to jump in my truck. What should I do? First, go to favrates.com for a great auto quote in 4 minutes from Farm Bureau. Then, put your dog on a diet, or get a little trampoline so it can bounce in your truck. Tough call. I'd go trampoline.
Great race, fast claim, real service, auto, home, and life. Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau.
If you wanna pay more, that's your business. If you wanna pay less, that's our business. Farm value.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. 1 great deal.
Farm value.
Now that's a Bond Value.
Louisiana pests can be a formidable opponent, but J&J Exterminating is ready to tackle them on their own turf. J&J Exterminating is Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, and we know what works in Louisiana's climate, from ants to termites and everything in between. J&J Exterminating will protect your home or business with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get the shield.
J&J Exterminating.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back, Panther fans. After 1 quarter of play, Panthers on top 14-0. The Gators are knocking on the door there. They're in the red zone. Ball is on the 12-yard line as they flip field. Now moving right to left, but the Gators are looking at a 4th and about 5, we'll call it 4.5, Mike, for the Panther 12. Huge play right here for the defense. Then they're going for it. Obviously, they don't want to try to get a field goal here. Here's a snap. It's going to be a handoff to the near side, and the Panthers are going to stop the running back at a Pike. We don't have him. He's not even close. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Donovan Martin Hayes along with John Michael Eve there on the tackle. They teamed up twice tonight. That's the 3rd time. Good play there by the strong side defensive front. Turning on down, Panthers are going to take over at the Gator 11. And Josh, I think we talked about it earlier. The Summer's going to play a difference in this game. I think so. Now, that was Pike's 6th carry of the game. They'll probably go to him most of the night, see if they can get something going. All right, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball on the 11-yard line. And they're on 11. 3 receivers to the top. Rebouche's in the shotgun. Here's a snap. It's going to be a speed open near side. Rebouche keeps himself, puts his head down. He's going to get a few as it crosses about 13-yard line. Pick up a 2 there on the play. 2nd and 8 for the Panthers. Good sportsmanship out there, Josh. You like to see that. 23 for the Gators. Pick Rebouche up with a handshake. 2nd and 8 for the Panthers. Moving left to right. 11:23 and counting here in the 2nd quarter. 3 receivers to the top. Logan Schindler here to the bottom. Good receiver in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Another speed option. Here's the pitch to Washington, and Washington's got a lot of room. He breaks the tackle. He's across the 40. He's across midfield. He breaks another tackle, and it's a foot race. He's across the 20, the 10. He's going to score. Touchdown, Panthers.
And Lakeview didn't know how to answer for that option play. Washington both two tackles, and Josh, he was running to the
84-yard touchdown run by Jalen Washington. You know what impressed me most about that run? He broke 3 tackles.
He sure did. He sure did. They spun him around. He got out of it. And when he opens up, you can just see how fast he is. He just broke 20 yards from him, and nobody was close.
And Mike, I don't have the stats here in front of me, but I'm going to go on a limb here and say that's the longest play, longest touchdown play we've had of the season. I think that'll be pretty close.
It'll be really close.
Here's the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So Panthers, big play there, 84-yard touchdown run by Jalen Washington. Get this, Mike, quick stat for you. All of the Panthers' touchdowns tonight have been running plays. All 3 of them over 20 yards.
Yeah, and you can tell that you're going to have big plays once you get outside of this team, and you can see Lakeview's looking around now, they don't know what happened.
So with 10:56 left to go here in the first half, Panthers go on top 21-0. So far, so good. And obviously the momentum is all on Bunkie's side right now.
The Panthers just look like, Josh, they have gelled together. The last 4 games, we're in rhythm. The passes are in rhythm. The kids are playing together, and they're just following each other's lead. They're feeding on each other, and it's a whole different team from when we started.
I tell you my thought, and I think I could sum it up in one word here, Mike. They're playing with confidence.
That's right.
Here's the kickoff, the Sean Super Center kickoff. We're kicking off left to right. Here's the kick. It's going to be a good kick to the far side. I believe it hit the player. It's going to be taken in. That's about the 25. That's Bunkie on the far side as he crosses the 40. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds right at the 44-yard line with the Gators to take over on offense. Gators had a good drive, their last offensive drive, but it stalled out inside the 15, Mike. So the Panther defense stood strong and forced a turnover on downs inside the 15. That's got to be heartbreaking.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I bet you Gators got more offensive time than the Panthers did. They scored on 3 huge plays. The Gators went all the way down the field. They just stumbled on 4th down.
10:50 to go here in the second quarter. Again, the Panthers on top 21-0. Lakeview comes out on offense. Ball on their own 40-yard line. Moving right to left now. Woods is in the shotgun. He's going to give the Pikes up the middle. He's going to slip a tackle. He gets across the 45 as he gets about 6 yards on that run right up the gut. That's his 7th carry of the ball game. We'll give him 7.
That's so far back. When he receives the football, he's running 10 yards before he gets to the line of scrimmage. He's at least 5 or 6 yards before he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he is pretty deep in the shotgun. Yeah, you gotta get 5 yards before you get to the stick. But a good game there by Pike. Second and we'll call it 3 from the 48-yard line, moving right to the left. Gators come out with 4 receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Pike on the side of Woods in the shotgun. Woods going to call his own number to the far side. He's not going to get anything.
He's tough right there. Kind of just, we got in the Wildcat, Josh, and ran it that time.
That was Trevor Dio, I think, who initially made contact, and then pursued by the Bunkie defense, followed 3rd down and 3 for the Gators. They actually lost the yard, so it's going to be 4.
That quarterback runs all the way to the far side to get the play and runs all the way back.
That'll wear you down.
Yeah, I mean, he's run 30 yards before he even called the play.
3rd and 4 for the Gators. Ball right at midfield. Same formation, 4 receivers, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom, and I believe the Gators are going to take a timeout.
The Lakeview Gators are going to call a timeout.
9:13 left to go here in the first half. Panthers on top, 21-0. You're listening to Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Capital Signs and Awnings is a nationwide sign manufacturer and service provider based right here at home in Bunkie. There's no job too large or too small. So give us a call for all of your signage needs. Call 318-346-9898. Here's that number again, 318-346-9898. Capital Signs and Awnings of Bunkie. For all your eye care needs, it's LaPointe Eye Clinic in Bunkie. Dr. Paul LaPointe and his staff invite you in. Glasses, contact lenses, eye exams. It's all in one place. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive. Call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
Perfect time and coming out of the timeout. Those teams take the field. Gators looking at a 3rd and 4 on their own 47-yard line, moving right to left. Going to send Hickman in motion. He's going to toss in the ball to the near side. Looking for some blockers. He runs into a wall of Panthers, trying to break some tackles, and he's got to be stopped right at about the 48. A lot of running for a 1-yard gain there, Mike. The Panthers have just done a great job of keeping him running to the outside and getting support over there. I'll give him a yard, but that's it. It's going to be 4th down and 3 again, Josh. Hickman's a sissy player. Juked out a couple of Panther defenders trying to find some room here to the near side. And just ran out of real estate and picked up a yard. 4th and 3 for the Gators. Let's see what they do. We've seen them come out in a shotgun formation and go for it, Mike, and we've seen them come out of it. Down 21-0, they may just want to go for it. I don't know, he's going under center right now. You're down 21, he's getting under center. 4th and 4 for the Gators. Going to get to the far side. Whistles are blown. I don't, did it right before the play, and their coach is shaking his head. We may have been outside, Josh. False start on the Gators, so that backs them up. They were looking at a 4th and 3. Now they're looking at about a 4th and 9. Quarterback got under center. He tried to go with a quick snap. The line wasn't ready, and he got caught with that. So 4th and 9. Quarterback comes from the sideline on the play. He wouldn't have had a first down anyway. They stepped right at the line of scrimmage. And I think he's backing up further than the back. Looks like he's probably going to try to punt this one. Yeah, Howard backed up to about the 30-yard line, anticipating a punt here, and Woods is going to punt it. It's going to be a short punt, taken in by Howard. Bounces on his chest, but he jumps right back on it at the 40. It bounced right off. It hit him right in the shoulder pads. Bounced up here, Lakeview guy, he missed it. Big break there for the Panthers, able to jump right back on that muff punt. Their offense takes over on their own 40-yard line, moving left to right. Game clock at 8:10. Again, the Panthers on top, 21-0. Lakeview's hardly doing any shoving, Josh. They're very thin on both sides of the ball. Yeah, they've got their 11 defenders on the field, and they've probably only got about 9 here on the sideline. Panthers come out with 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the near side. We're saying the shotgun as well. Steps to his right. Here's the snap. It's going to be give the Wells up the middle, and that's going to be stuffed. He may have gotten a yard there on that play. You got to yell. That time, that defensive line blew. Somebody came through quick, Josh, and you can tell that's what they're going to try to stop now. So 2nd and 9 from the 42-yard line, moving left to right. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the broadcast. If you're outside of the listening area of 95.9, we do have an app that you can find on the app in the App Store for iPhones. Just search KZLG, bring you straight to that app, download it, and you can catch us anywhere in the world. 2nd and 9 from the 42. Rebouche has an empty backfield. He's watching in motion to the far side. Fakes to him. He's got to pass it. He's got to open the receiver. That's Wells up the seam. He's across the 30, the 20, the 10, and he is going to score. And there he made that look easy. They set it up off of the pitch to Washington. Rebouche hits Wells at the field.
And what an easy score for the Panthers. That is going to be a 52-yard touchdown pass from Rebouche to Wells. And I told you before the game, I'm looking for a big game from Wells, and he just showed up big right there. His fake wasn't even really that good. He handed it out like, we ran that play a bunch, and you had seen it on the film, and they just built for it to try to get Washington and left Wells wide open down the field. That's Wells' second reception of the ball game. First one was for 23 yards. That one, 48-yard touchdown catch. Rebouche's completed 4 passes tonight and over 100 yards. Here's a snap for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is a beauty. As Madden Sauseda, the ball boy, catches it. Panthers go up 28-0 with 7:11 here to go in the first half. With the Bunkie Panther Radio, D95.9.
Sean Super Center in Hesper now carries a full line of guns and ammunition. If you're looking for a deal just in time for hunting season, call 597-9940 or stop by and ask about our special prices on steel and lead shot. Rio steel shot starts at just $109.99 a case, and Rio lead shot starts at just $99.99 a case. We sell top name brand guns in any caliber you need at the best prices around. Right now, the popular CVA 35 Wayland is priced at a low $279.99. Don't forget to fill up for your trip with quality Exxon gas at our Easy In and Easy Out gas pumps. And don't forget that our meat department can help start your trip the right way with the freshest meat cut just the way you like it. You don't want to miss a minute of hunting season, and you definitely don't want to miss the deals going on now at Sean Super Center in Hesmer.
All right, here's the kickoff. It's going to be taken in by Kevin Hickman from a little bit, and he's going to be down. He's going to jump on the ball about the 33-yard line. Panthers almost jumped back on that ball. That was a split kick to the far side. Panthers have a comfortable lead here, Mike. 28-0 early in the first half. We got 7 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. And a lot of the plays all have been huge, big plays for the Panthers. So far, offense just looks to be in a real good rhythm. You said that word earlier. And very intense. I mean, you can tell the passes are hitting the receivers in stride. And they look good. And to be honest with you, watching pregame, the passing section of pregame, it didn't look too good. They haven't missed a pass yet. No, he's hit everybody wide, and he's had a couple of tight ones and he's got it in there. Woods is going to take it himself up the middle. He's going to get about a yard, and he's stacked up there by the defensive line. I believe that's number 76 there that was there first for the Panthers. That is Jalen Jenkins, the sophomore. I said this in the Evolve game, this gets to the point where you got a team, now you're going to have to change something. Evolve wasn't able to go to a passing game or do anything. When you're down 28, you're almost taking the run off the table now. No gain after that play. 2nd and 10 for the Gators on the 33-yard line, moving right to left. Game clock at 6:30 and counting. Woods is going to step back. He's going to pass, overthrow his receiver. The intended receiver was number 9. That's Spennington. Ball was just overthrown. Yeah, I think if McConnell was going to make a tackle, had he looked up, he might have been able to catch that football. That stopped the clock at 6:24 here in the second quarter. 3rd down and 10. The Gators do have a passing game. Let's see if they go to it a lot more, being, chasing 4 touchdowns. 28-0, Panthers on top. 3rd down and 10. Woods in the shotgun. It's going to be a gift of this side the Pikes. And he's going to get across the 35 as he picks up the field, but that's going to be a long 4th down for the Gators, about 4th and 7. Ball placed right at the 36-yard line. Now, if you're Lakeview, do you go for it in this situation? I mean, you deep in your territory, or do you just punt it? I think the way I've seen him punt, I hate to say that, I think you go for it. Because he's only punted 20-yard punt. 4 receiver set. Woods is going to drop back. He is going to pass, and it's going to be incomplete.
and send it to number 9 again, in Montalvo on the coverage. Turnover on down, ball is going to go back to Bunkie offense. That stops clock at 5:43.
5:43 left in the second quarter, and the Panthers are leading 28 to nothing. This is the biggest lead they've had. There's no question. And the Panthers look better and better every week, Josh. And then that's what you want to do. You hope your team improves towards the end of the season, going into the playoff game, and this is where you want to be.
1st and 10 in Gators territory. Rebouche is going to toss it out to the far side. It is complete. I believe that's number 4, Austin.
That was Temple on the catch.
About 7 yards as he's taken down about the 30. Good pick up there. I believe that's Temple's 3rd catch of the season.
Temple broke the tackle and made something happen right there.
Yeah, happy for that senior. 2nd down and 4 from the 30-yard line, moving left to right. Panthers on top 28-0.
And I see some new jerseys in there. Josh, you got Logan Shinbird in there, 31's in there. Panthers doing some stuff.
Caleb Zalion, here at the wide out. So they hand off up the middle. Gets across the 30. I think that was Jalen Washington. Going to pick up 1.5 yards, maybe a yard there on that play. 3rd down for the Panthers. 3rd down and a long 4. That is Washington's 5th carry of the game. He had a 31-yard touchdown and also an 84-yard touchdown, both on speed option plays.
It's going to be a 3rd down and what you said 4 for him on Josh right here from the 30-yard line.
Let's come out with doubles. 2 receivers to each side. Washington steps to Rebouche's left. Going to send Montalvo in motion to the far side, and he's going to toss it to Montalvo.
There's nobody
got a lot of room. He's going to have the 1st down. That's going to be a 15-yard pickup. He's knocked out of bounds around the 15-yard line.
I think that was just another option by Graham. He could hand it or throw it. Nobody covered Montalvo. He made the right read. And they starting to score again, Josh.
That's 6 completions there for Rebouche, well over 100 yards with 1 touchdown pass. I believe that's Montalvo's 2nd reception of the season.
Yeah, he has it. He's played sparingly in the backfield and at receiver as well as on defense.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball right at the 15, moving left to right. Here's a snap. Rebouche drops back to pass. He is going to throw it. He's going to overthrow his intended receiver. That's Caleb Zalion, the lone wide receiver here to the near side. That stops the clock at 3:56 here in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers on the 15. And this is well within field goal range for John Michael Lee. We saw him hit, no question, about 40 yards at pregame.
And I think here, Josh, if the Panthers do stop, then I think you definitely let him kicking the field goal here.
Yeah, you want to get this game experience. That may help you in the playoffs.
They're coming out. Rebouche's in the shotgun. He's throwing the ball all over the field.
2nd and 10, 4 receivers. Going to send Shinda in motion. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Washington. He's going to be close to the 1st down as he gets inside the 10. Just to about the 7-yard line. He's going to be about 4 yards short.
He faked the football to Shinda. Hands it to Washington on the counter back up the middle.
So it's going to be a pickup of about 6 there. We'll call it 5 for Washington as they spot the ball inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. 3rd down and 3 for the Panthers, moving left to right. Comfortable lead, 28-0, looking to put some more points on the board here in the 1st half.
No, and I was about to say, 2 defenders come off the cover on receiver. I was going to hit by himself.
Did they hand off up the middle? No, Rebouche's going to keep it himself. Hops over the defender. They have the 1st down.
That was huge effort. He hurdled the guy, and he's going to pick it up. Going to be 1st and goal from about the 4 now, John.
And the play he faked it to Washington was in the end zone before I realized he didn't have the ball. Rebouche kept it on the far side. First and goal for the Panthers. That is a Plum Right LLC first down. Panthers have 4 downs and 5 yards to go for pay dirt. That's Rebouche's third carry of the game. That one goes for 4. He did have a 23-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. First and goal for the Panthers. Running down some clock. Well, he's just 20 now. And counting here in the second quarter. He's killing the clock, and the linebacker acts like he's blitzed, and he's just watching. He's going to send Howard in motion. Rebouche's going to turn and throw it. He's going to hit Ian Montalvo here to the near side, and he's going to be tackled at about the 3-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 1. That's a 1-yard reception from Rebouche to Montalvo. Gives the Panthers a second and goal look from the 3-yard line. I tell you what, I could have saw Lakeview. Rebouche's running the play in and out and from the sideline. Usually they have signaling that in, I guess. Right now we look so complex, I guess you got to go get the play. Second and goal for the Panthers, ball on the 3-yard line. We're here on the near hash now. Howard and Montalvo on either side of Rebouche in the shotgun. Going to send Howard in motion to the far side. Rebouche's going to hand it off to Montalvo up the middle. That's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown for the senior, Ian Montalvo, his first touchdown of the season. From 3 yards out. And Josh, I don't know, the Panthers look unstoppable out here. They're playing really good football. They scored 5 touchdowns here in the first half, 4 on the ground by 4 different individuals, and 1 through the air. 34-0 with 1:22 left to go here in the first half, awaiting the extra point. Here's a snap, low snap. Rebouche handles it well. The kick is up, and I believe he's going to miss. No, it's good. It is good. 35-0. Panthers on time with 1:22 left to go here in the first half. Let's take a 30-second timeout and listen to Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to pay less, that's our business. Bond value.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalues.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. 1 great deal.
Bond value.
Now that's a bond value.
All right, welcome back, Panther fans. The Panthers have scored 5 Vaughn Motors touchdowns here in the first half. Mike, they've gotten the ball on offense 5 times. They have scored 5 times. First time that's happened all season. Probably the first time that's happened in a few seasons. They look, you said it, they look unstoppable tonight. Knock on wood, let's hope that stays.
And this is the game, you know, now, Josh, I hope you play some younger kids, and you want to get everybody out of this game. Onside kick, the Panthers are going to get it back.
The Panthers attempt the onside kick, and they get the ball back.
But if you Lakeview, I mean, I seen that defense just turn their head. They don't even want to go on the field.
Wow, for the Panther offense, is going to take the field once again with 1:18 left to go here in the first half. And you know, you can't, usually you would say that's unsportsmanlike, but we've been doing it all year. We've been split kicking all game.
I think if you coach Nick, though, you come out and you kick the ball, you know, and you, I think you got to start subbing some kids. I imagine they may run the clock after the half, you know.
Double formation. Here's the Wells in motion to the near side. Speed option. Here's the pitch to Washington. He breaks the tackle, cuts it inside, cuts it upfield. He's going to be knocked out of bounds right at the first down marker on the far side. They continue to run the clock. We're under a minute here in the second quarter. 2-yard pickup for Washington. That's his 7th carry of the ball game. It's going to help the Rabbits there a little bit. Yeah, Washington has 2 touchdowns here in the first half. 31-yard touchdown and an 84-yard touchdown on the ground.
Second down and 1. It's going to be 2nd and 1, Josh. He didn't quite pick it up. Lakeview, you could tell these guys are winning. That big defensive line is just moping to the ball.
This could very well be the last play of the first half. Y'all keep it tuned here for the LaPointe Eye Clinic halftime show. Rebouche's going to turn. He's going to pass it to Wells in the flat. Wells is going to have the first down as he dances around, looking for some room. He stays in bounds. He's tackled about the 26-yard line. I'm laughing. That big defensive lineman there was very upset, 65. He came in flying. I think he actually might have hurt himself. Well, posted, he flew over the top of him. But the Panthers are going to take a timeout here, Mike. They may try to score again. Coach Nick not taking any chances here. He might not ever get the chance to score over 30 points, 35 points in the first half. Again, he might want to take advantage of his opportunity. If the ball spotted on the 26-yard line in Gator territory, I believe this would be in the field goal range of Eames, a field goal kicker. You think he comes out and tries that? No, he's not first down. We got 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They do have one timeout left in the first half. 19 seconds left to go here in the first half. I'm kind of curious to see what the Panthers are going to do here. Especially they're down under 20 seconds left to go. I think Coach Nick's going to take a knee. I think he's going to take a knee, Josh, is what he's going to do. Wing T formation. Rebouche in the center for the first time tonight. No, he's in Washington motion. He's going to hand it up to Capel up the middle. Capel's got a lot of running room as he crosses the 15, gets down to about the 10-yard line. That senior picks up 16 yards there on that carry. You know, when you come out, you watch film, and now you're giving the ball to Capel up the middle. The Cox will stop the ball. Rebouche's back on the center. Clock under 6 seconds, and Rebouche spikes the ball. And they're all going to kick that field goal you talked about. He ran it up the middle, and they're going to kick it. You know what's special about tonight? The offense is clicking like it is. I see that Coach Nick is giving his seniors opportunities. Capel ran the ball there. Ian Montavo is giving them a chance to do some stats, to score some touchdowns, and they'll take that with them forever. Yep, exactly. So he is going to line up to kick the field goal. This is going to be a 20-yard field goal as the ball is right at the 10. And Lakeview's going to jump off sides. Yeah, and then just nothing going like Lakeview tonight. No, we've been on that side of the coin many a time too, Mike. There's just nothing goes right for you. You got to give the Panthers 5 yards, and Eames will have a little closer field goal now. It's 35-0 with 4 seconds left to go here in the first half, and the Panthers are attempting a field goal here on the near hash. Ball's on the 5. Whistle is blown. Here's a snap, good snap, ball on the ground. It's going to be locked. But that's going to be the end of the first half, Josh. Panthers on top. It's a good night to be a Panther so far. They're leading 35-0 with a very comfortable lead here in the first half. Awesome first half for the Panthers. Keep it tuned here for the LaPointe Eye Clinic halftime show. Me and Mike will see you here in the third quarter. You listen to Bunkie Panther Radio Z 95.9.
For all your eye care needs, it's LaPointe Eye Clinic in Bunkie. Dr. Paul LaPointe and his staff invite you in. Glasses, contact lenses, eye exams. It's all in one place. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive. Call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
Hello, Panthers. This is Coach Caitlin Hillman coming to you live from the Bunkie High School Panther Den with this week's weekly news. It's a calm 3-day week here at Bunkie High School. We do have a few things going on in the upcoming weeks. Our canned food drive is still going on until the second week of December. If anyone in the community would like to donate canned goods, you can surely bring them to Bunkie High School. Again, we are trying to make a three-peat and be the Sin-Law winners and collect the most cans. So please, if you have some extra cans in that pantry, please bring them to Bunkie High School and donate them. The football team hosts Manny next Friday, and tickets are on sale right now in the office for $8 a piece. So if you want to come see the Panthers finish the regular season next Friday versus Manny, come by the office and grab you a ticket. Our middle school boys basketball team has an away game on Thursday at Brame Middle School. Our girls varsity basketball team has their first home opener on the 19th versus Port Barry here at Bunkie High School. You can check our Facebook page. There's going to be a link to be able to purchase tickets for that game. So come out, support our girls basketball team home opener on the 19th. And during Thanksgiving break, the school will be closed and students will be staying home on the Thursday for Thanksgiving and the Friday after. So that's our short little Thanksgiving break, the Thursday and the Friday. That's all I have for you this week. And as always, go Panthers.
For all your eye care needs, it's LaPointe Eye Clinic in Bunkie. Dr. Paul LaPointe and his staff invite you in. Glasses, contact lenses, eye exams. It's all in one place. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive. Call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
Farm Bureau proudly supports our Bunkie Panthers. Hey, this is Josh Sauseda, your local Farm Bureau agent. If you're looking for great rates, fast claims, and real service, give me a call at 318-201-0577. Join our family so we can take care of yours.
Great rates, fast claims, real service, auto, home, and life. Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau.
If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to pay less, that's our business. Farm value.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. One great deal.
Farm value.
Now that's a bond value.
Louisiana Radio Network Sports, I'm Jeff Palermo. The Saints are seeking their 6th straight win on Sunday when they face the San Francisco 49ers after appearing in the Super Bowl last season. The 49ers have been hit with a bunch of injuries and enter Sunday's game with a 4-5 record. Quarterback Drew Brees says he's not taking San Fran lightly.
Obviously, they're short a few guys that, were key guys from last year. But I think just like any team, you have young guys that have to step up and play and contribute and be able to, execute the scheme. And I think despite the injuries that they've had guys that have done a good job doing that.
The Saints will also play in front of their biggest home crowd of the season as 6,000 fans will be allowed inside the dome. The Raging Cajuns could win a Sun Belt Western Division title on Saturday with a win over South Alabama, but the pride of Acadiana will not be there as the school has suspended all on-campus music-making activities because of the rising number of COVID cases. LRN.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell. I mean, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? After all, I'm a skunk. But my stinky fragrance is nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. So if you think you smell a leak or encounter other signs such as hearing a hissing or blowing sound or seeing a vapor cloud, blowing dirt or bubbling water, do not smoke, talk on the phone, turn on or off equipment or vehicles, or do anything that could cause a spark. Leave the area immediately. Then call 911 at Atmos Energy. Atmos Energy will send a trained technician to investigate the situation. Take it from a skunk. Gas leaks just plain stink. Seriously, there's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. Yep, that's a little skunk humor there. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
The SEC announces it will use December 19th as a date to make up games that need to be rescheduled. That's the day for the SEC championship game as well. But it also opens the door for the league to reschedule Saturday's postponed game between LSU and Alabama. Athletic Director Scott Woodward says December 5th is a possibility, and that means the Ole Miss game on that day would be played on December 19th. Woodward says there's only a small number of players who have tested positive, but many more are in quarantine.
He says none of the players who have tested positive for COVID have experienced a serious illness.
I think our kids are having mild symptoms, just like they're predicting and showing on that demographic group. Healthy, young people are asymptomatic. But that's not the issue. The issue is how much spreading is going to the vulnerable.
And La Tech is hopeful its postponed game with Rice can be rescheduled. The Bulldogs reportedly did not have enough healthy offensive linemen to play on Saturday. Louisiana Radio Network.
If you wanna pay more, that's your business. If you wanna pay less, that's our business. Bond value.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. One great deal.
Bond value.
Now that's a bond value.
Louisiana pests can be a formidable opponent, but J&J Exterminating is ready to tackle them on their own turf. J&J Exterminating is Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, and we know what works in Louisiana's climate, from ants to
The whole Lakeview's got a lot of athletes on the field, and for them to hold them to 0 at halftime, they've done their job. The offense has supported them, and I tell you what, they look like the full package.
Yeah, I got some unofficial halftime stats here. Leading the Panthers on the ground, Jared Washington, 134 yards, he's unofficial now, 134 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. He had a touchdown run of 31 yards and 84 yards, both off of option pitches. Receiving, now Graham Rebouche completed, let me count them up here, 8 passes, over 165 yards, with a touchdown. Davian Wells caught a touchdown pass of 48 yards. Davian Wells also leads the Panthers in receiving. He's got 3 receptions for 76 yards and a touchdown. Also with touchdowns on the ground tonight, Rebouche, 23-yard touchdown run. That was the first score of the game. And Ian Montalvo, the senior, 3-yard touchdown run. That was the last touchdown of the first half. So he's spreading it around. Washington's got 2 on the ground. Wells has 1 to the air. Rebouche's got 1 on the ground. Montalvo's got 1 on the ground. Defensively, they've held their own. They've only allowed 65 yards of total offense, and they do have 1 forced turnover. That was interception by junior linebacker Hayden Sauseda. Special teams even recovered an onside kick. They just took it on the off-field.
Yeah, they look good. Lakeview came out, Josh, a couple of series. They looked confused in the first 2 series. They started throwing the ball. They didn't have much success. About the 3rd series, they come out. They lined up some big guys in the backfield, and they started running the ball at us. They just stalled a couple times. They took a lot of time off the clock, and they were unable to get any points on the board.
Nothing I'm surprised Lakeview's not doing is going to Kevin Hickman, number 2. He's only got 1 carry on the night. Talking to a coach up here, a fellow radio guy here for their team, and he said that Hickman usually gets the ball 15, 20 times a game. He's only got it once.
Yeah, and well, you're kind of limited when you're getting, you're getting beat 35-0. The Panthers, time of possession really hasn't been a whole lot. We scored on a bunch of big plays, and we scored quick. So Lakeview probably run as many plays as we have. They just haven't been too successful with it.
And if y'all remember from the first half, the Panthers won the coin toss with the 3rd, so now they're going to get the ball on offense here to open up the second half. The 2 teams take the field. We're kicking it off left to right now. Back to receive.
We had a little guy talking to us before the game, that little number 6. He said he was a 7th grader, and he was talking about John Michael Eves kicking the football, and he's actually getting a kick tonight in this game, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I see him on the field, yeah.
So he is a 7th grader. He's out there doing the kicking. Give him a little credit there.
Yeah, let's see if we can find him on the roster. Number 6. As a whole Helm, the 7th grader. So that's going to be doing the kicking from right to left. They swap fields now. Kicking off right to left, back to receive for the Panthers is number 1, Jared Washington. I think that's pretty special, Mike. 7th grader getting the game.
Can you imagine his heartbeat right now?
Let's see what happens. He might beat it to the end zone.
He could kick it way deep and back deep for the Panthers. I can't see the up back. I know the one in the back is Washington.
That's Ian Montalvo.
That is Montalvo. Well,
all right, starting the second half right here. They do sell good hot dogs over here at Lakeview. I just ate me one. And he's got an onside kick. It's going to roll 10 yards. I think it made.
No, it didn't go 10 yards, but the Panthers fell on it.
I don't see any flags, man.
They wasn't in it. The Panthers just dove on it. Might have been 59. Yeah, he's jumping up and down. Got recovered that for the Panthers.
And the 59 for the Panthers that recovered it. That is Leon Silverand, the junior.
All right, so some young guys in there.
Panthers are going to take over on offense in Gator territory right at the 48, moving left to right. Comfortable lead, 35-0. See if they keep it going here on offense. Come out with 4 receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Here's a snap. It's going to speed option to the near side. A toss again to Washington. Makes number 17 miss, and it's a foot race here. Washington takes an angle, but Pikes is going to chase him down and tackle him inside the 10. The only guy on the field that can kick him.
Well, he is the Washington Sharks, but that kid is really fast.
That's going to be a 42-yard pickup by Washington, and that's going to help out his average tremendously.
They got outside, Josh, and they were one-on-one. They were two-on-one with the defensive end. And Brown had 2 options. He could keep it or pitch it, and the defensive end decided to try to come get in, and it was over. It was a foot race.
First and goal for the Panthers. Ball inside the 10, right at the 9-yard line, moving left to right. Rebouche's going to toss it out here to the near side, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver was number 8. That's Kyle Johnson, the 8th grader.
Yeah, he just dropped the pass.
But he is the 8th grader. To come out on a road game, first of all, Coach Nick doesn't dress out with his entire team to travel.
But, you know, a lot of people are going to say, well, put in the subs, but Josh, we don't have many subs on the sidelines right now.
No, we probably got about, I'd say about 14, 15 guys.
That's about it. He didn't bring a lot of freshmen and people that he didn't expect to play because it's a big expense when you haul a bunch of kids.
They're going to go inside the 10. Rebouche's going to give it to Washington on the left side. He jukes a couple defenders and slipped inside.
He was by himself. He just tripped over his own feet.
He would have
that's when he scored there. Somebody third down and goal for the Panthers.
Mike, you said something at halftime to me. You said you expected the Panthers to play well, but not this way. And I agree with you. I didn't expect the score to be like this coming into the second half.
Especially when I got here and I saw Lakeview size and the athletes they have. And I watched them on the film. You know, Coach Nick made a lot of these guys. This is stuff that the listeners don't know. These guys do a lot of homework. Coach Nick gave them homework this week, and they came and they studied film on every Lakeview player, and that's pretty impressive. And it shows tonight that they were well prepared.
Third and goal for the Panthers is going to be pitched to Washington on the far side. He's going to score a touchdown. It's actually a Wildcat play. That's the 3rd touchdown of the night for the senior. Takes it in from 4 yards out. Now Bunkie's going to have 41 points. Wow. And they don't look like they're slowing down.
No, and they just continue to run their offense. They ran the option, and that time they got in a Wildcat, and they just ran past them.
41-0 with 10:22 here in the third quarter.
He's getting a lot of practice.
Does have one field goal attempt, but it was blocked. Here's the extra point. I think Lakeview jumped offside.
They're going to call a false start on the Panthers, Josh. Yeah, this guy on this side saying false start on the Panthers.
So they'll back them up 5. And we'll try the point after once again. Again, thank you for tuning in to the broadcast. If you can't catch us in the listening area, download the KZLG app. You can find it in the App Store for iPhone only. Now, I think the Panthers called timeout.
Yeah, they called a timeout on the extra point with 10:22 In the third quarter, the Panthers on top 41-0, and we're in a timeout.
We'll take a quick break. This is Z95.9.
For all your eye care needs, it's LaPointe Eye Clinic in Bunkie. Dr. Paul LaPointe and his staff invite you in. Glasses, contact lenses, eye exams. It's all in one place. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive. Call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
All right, we're going to try the point after attempt one more time. That's Coach Nick called the timeout. Panthers did have a false up penalty, did back them up 5 yards. Now the ball's right at the 9-yard line. Rebouche doing the holding. The Gators may have jumped there, no flag. They may have jumped again. Here's the snap. It's on the ground. The kick is up, and it is good. I thought it was wide left, but it must have squeaked through the left upright.
I think somebody jumped. I think somebody moved, but the officials look like at this point they just let that one go.
After that, extra point. Panthers are now leading 42-0 with 10:22 left in the third quarter. Mike, Panthers got the ball 6 times. They scored 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, Lakeview does not have an answer for them. Bunkie shows really a whole different look than what we've shown. You know, we run the ball up the middle a bunch. We come out tonight spreading the ball around, throwing it all over the field. And I don't think Lakeview expected this.
Now, we're getting a lot more players involved. Well was having a big game. You've got 3 catches on the night for over 80 yards. You got Montavo getting into some action with 2 catches and a touchdown on the ground. So a lot of players get involved that hadn't been involved much in the first half of the season, and a flag gets thrown. What can that? Is that maybe a sideline one? Is it broken?
Maybe so.
It was thrown right at the sideline.
I don't think I kicked an onside kick. I think I tried to just kick this one deep and give it to him.
Dead ball foul against Lakeview. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Lakeview, and it was thrown in the vicinity of number 19, Dylan Pike.
He had to tell the official something because the ball wasn't even placed on the tee yet.
Yeah, dead ball foul. Ball not placed on the tee. Maybe some players are getting aggravated.
Frustration, you know, you don't have an answer, you get beat, and it just, it spills over on the field.
So now the ball's teed up in Gator territory, the 45, where he tees it up.
And this is an awesome chance for a kicker, because as a kicker, you want to see if you can put this into the upright and here.
Absolutely.
You know, so you're going for these points right here. And I know exactly, he's backed up about 4 more steps. He's going to do a half a Gilmore kick here, I think.
Good night to be a Panther. They lead 42-0 with 10:22 here in the third quarter. You know, we didn't bring many secondary players, but I imagine we'll see a good bit of them. The ones that we did have to bring.
You know, I haven't noticed, have you noticed that the clock was running so far enough?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a running clock here in the second half. Here's Eves with the Sean Supercenter kickoff, and he's going to kick it deep into the end zone.
He went for it.
Yeah,
He tried it.
He went for it. He put all that he had in that kick. It lands in the end zone, touchback. Lakeview is going to take it over the 20-yard line, moving right to left. Again, 42-0.
So if you Lakeview, Josh, you try something different? Do you just come out here and just try to get out of here without getting anybody else hurt? Or?
I think so. I mean, well,
you know, you definitely want to put some points on the board.
You're coming in this game at 2-3, probably going to lose this game, Mike. I don't see why you save anything. You just leave it all out on the field.
I think it's the way you figure out a new identity.
Yeah.
You try to go for what you can. And it looks like they're going to come out passing.
Yeah, Woods is going to play action. It's going to be a pass, and it's going to be incomplete there to the right side.
It hit 76. I think in the chest. That was one of our defensive linemen.
Yeah, that was Jalen Jenkins. hit him right in the chest. Wasn't expecting that ball. I tell you, Wood, he let that one go pretty good, too.
He owned it. It was in a pile, and he just hit one of our defensive linemen.
Incomplete pass, so it stops the clock at 10:14. Gators on their own 20, moving right to left. 2nd and 10 to go. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Woods in the shotgun with Slaughter to his right. Kevin Hickman to his left. That's Pikes. It's going to be a handoff to Pikes on the right side. The ball is on the ground. The Panthers come through it, and they take it.
Nothing is going right for Lakeview. Pikes takes off when you hand the ball, he takes off really, really quick. And then he slows down waiting for a hole, and it gives the Panthers time to get to him. That time they just got to him and took the football from him.
I do have some Central Louisiana Insurance Consultant score updates. I got these about 15 minutes ago, so it may have changed since then. Red River is on top of Boyles, 8-6. That's a good game in the second quarter. That's a very good game.
Boyles given, and Red River moved up. I think they're number 3. Boyles may be at 5 from what I saw today. So that's going to have big playoff probabilities right there. Yeah. That'll actually help the Panthers if the Vols can pull up a win.
Absolutely. Panthers take over on offense in the red zone, 1st and 10. Rebouche drops back to pass. He's going to throw it here to the near side. It's a 50-50 ball. Howard makes an unbelievable catch for a touchdown. 2-on-1 coverage.
He was double covered. They threw it to a pylon down from the other side of the field, and Howard goes up and scores.
That's his second catch of the ball game. That's a 20-yard touchdown. And you know how they say it on SportsCenter? He just got mossed.
Yeah, he went up there, and you just saw the wind. You just dropped the head, you know.
What's most impressive, Patrick Howard was double covered. He had 2 defenders.
He went between both of them, and the ball was just posted right in the corner of the end zone.
High pointed the ball, brought it down for the touchdown. 48-0 as we win an extra point. Here's the snap. Here's the hold. The kick is up. And it is good once again. I wonder if John Michael's leg didn't sore.
He's done as much. He's done more kicking tonight than I think I remember him in the football game.
49 points, and that's the most points the Panthers have scored since 2016, I believe. They scored over 60 against Grant at a home game.
I was about to say, I was at that game. I got a picture, and the guys got their helmets up.
Yeah.
And we also gave up 60, though. So it was like 63-61.
I was at that game as well, and there was absolutely no defense. I think each team had like 2 or 3 special teams touchdowns.
Yeah, it was just a track meet up and down the field, no defense. This not the case. The Panthers are track meeting, and they're stopping.
49-0 with 10 minutes here to go in the third quarter. And I really said Coach Nick to put in some of the secondary players of what he brought. Here's a swift kick up the middle. Lakeview's going to take it in at about the 25-yard line. That Pike coming to the near side has a few blockers, but runs into Panther defenders about the 25. We'll call it a 5-yard return for the Gators. So they'll take over offense.
That's going to be a block in the back or something.
I didn't see a flag. I see it now.
They might be calling on the Panthers. One of those young guys was in there. I think Brett Reesher was one of the ones that make a tackle on that play.
Flag was thrown right at the 38-yard line on the far sideline. And I didn't see what the official, they're talking about it now. And they're pointing out, and
yeah, they probably, I mean, the only thing that could come from that probably was a block in the back.
Usually that's the case. Top block against Lakeview, so that'll back them up from the 25. Probably back them up 10. And they'll respot the ball, so Lakeview will be deep in their own territory now. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, Mike. I thought it would have been 10, but that's actually
that's a personal foul when you do that.
So that backed them up inside the 15 to about the 11-yard line. They originally had the ball at about the 20, 25. Now they're at the 11. moving right to left. So Woods is going to send his offense out in a 3-receiver set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. He's going to call his own number up the middle, and he's going to stop. Hayden Sauseda comes up the middle with a good tackle.
He had him right in the gut and just pushed him back. He's going to get a yard.
They're going to give him a yard and a half on that carry. Good job by the Panther defense. And that is Woods. Woods actually has 6 carries on the night at quarterback. They're just some straight quarterback keepers.
He kind of looks like John's good. He's a tall, slimmer guy. Not quite as shifty, but he will keep the football. He's running them peaks like that. And he's gotten a few yards. It's just not too much is going right for him.
He looks the pass now, and he's going to throw it. It's going to be almost intercepted. Trevor Gill missed an opportunity as Wood tried to get it out here to Kevin Hickman. Trevor got right in front of him.
Trevor not used to catching the football.
He might not get that chance again. 3rd down and 9 for the Gators.
A flat route. Trevor just jumped the route.
Yeah, good position. He just couldn't make the catch. I think he was a little bit surprised maybe that it got on him. Wood throws a pretty good ball. They got there pretty quick. 9 minutes exactly here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 9 for the Gators. They took deep back in their own territory. Woods drops back to pass. He's got a little bit of time. He's going to throw it up. Kevin Hickman is open. He's going to make the catch. And he's going to have a 1st down at the 35 yards.
What is that for?
That might be targeting. He took the big leg.
Come on.
That might be a target.
He got hit. They spun him around, and then the Panther came and wrapped him up. But, I don't think they loaded his helmet to hit him, did they? He took a good lick, though.
It just happened so fast. That's a 28-yard pass from Woods to Kevin Hickman.
Let me ask you this. If they do a targeting, I can't believe you're going to call that.
Yeah, personal foul. 15-yard penalty, so that's going to take that 20, that's going to knock on 15 to the 28.
If they try to do a targeting and then check that player, is he sitting next week?
No, I don't think, I think that's...
And they're not going to do that.
I think that's a judgment call.
Yeah.
It wasn't done purposely.
The Panthers came up and hit him really hard, but, still, we playing football here, too, though.
1st and 10 for the Gators. They're finally in Panther territory for the first time this game. Here's the handoff to the right side of the pipe, and he's going to go down, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
You can tell, Josh, that's been their bread and butter play right there. And it has not worked against the Panthers tonight.
The longest play from scrimmage was the previous play, the 28-yard strike from Woods to Hickman, went from 28 yards. The longest play besides that, the 8-yard rush by Pikes in the first half.
Well, and you can see 19 he's shaking up from that lick he took when he caught the ball.
Loss of 2 there on the play on the rush by Pikes. 2nd down and 11 from the 42 of the Panthers. Woods drops back to pass, looking to his left. He throws it up, and it's going to be intercepted by Howard around the 20, shaking off some tacklers. Now he's still on his feet to the near side. He's going to return that interception 11 yards. Just caught a touchdown pass on line off and comes around and intercepts for him.
And when you got the lead like that, you can sit back and play center field, and that's what Howard did. He's just waiting on the football.
2nd interception of the night. Hayden Sauseda had an interception in the first half. Patrick Howard gets an interception here in the second half. Defense has 3 turnovers, 4 turnovers, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions. They get their offense the ball back on the 31-yard line.
I thought, Josh, I didn't see Rebouche coming out. I thought they were going to start shoving. I saw Temple walking in like the huddle, but no, that's not the case. He's putting his guys back out there.
There's no running clock. It's 7:54 here to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, the Panthers on top 49-0. Panthers come out with a double formation, 2 receivers to each side. Whistles are blown. I think we've got movement up front. Let's see what the call is. False start on the Panthers. And I didn't want to say it, but they just reminded me. I believe that's only the third offensive penalty we've had.
It is, and other than that, we've been just lights out, you know. And I think the 53 got a jump on him, and I think we just tried to move a little early to counter it, and they got caught. When you're up 49 and nothing, you're going to get those calls against.
That backs them up 5, first and 15, ball at the 22-yard line, moving left to right. 7:52 left here in the third quarter. High snap, Rebouche recovers all. He's just going to hit it.
Yeah, he tried, but I think he didn't think he had time to do anything. Ball was over his head, he falls on it. He probably could have picked that up and made something happen.
Save the thing you can do. Let's just keep the ball. Let's find another down. That'll back them up another 5. Now 2nd and 20. Last time they had 20 yards to go for a first down. They hit Lasage's house for a 44-yard strike. Let's see what they have here called on offense. Three receivers here to the near side. Ball is on the near hash. One receiver to the top. We were showing the shotgun with Wells at running back. Trying to bring some clock here. He's just drawing the clock down. As we're under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Wells now steps to Rebouche's left. It's going to be a speed option to the far side. He does pitch it to Wells, makes the cut up the middle, hit hard in the backfield. Good play there by Lakeview Gator. That player still got some life in him. I believe that's number 68. That's Dylan Iron.
That's the same lineman. That defensive lineman has suffered all night long. He's been down the field making some tackles a lot tonight. And he's not a small guy. He's running all over the field.
That's also the defensive lineman. He had 2 carries in the first half.
Put him to run the ball. I mean, he's a true athlete out there for the Gators.
3rd and about 25 to go on the Panther 16, moving left to right. 2 receivers to each side. There's a snap. A little handoff up the middle to Wells. Now, I thought it's a play-action pass. I thought Wells saw the whole time.
I'm going to tell you, when I see 19 lead Wells alone, I said, what's going on?
Wow, what a play action. It fooled me. I think it fooled everybody else.
Yeah. We were all, I said, well, it was running for a touchdown, then I did go tackle.
And Mike, this is the first touch of the football game for the Panther offense.
Yeah.
You got 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
And the reason is we got backed up on penalties. We had 2 penalties, backed ourselves up. That's the first time we kind of stalled on offense.
But if you take your first punt with 5:50 to go in the third quarter, you're doing pretty good.
You're winning the football game, I'll tell you that. And I'll tell you some of that, the offense, they had a lot of new players in there. They had subbed a bunch of kids out.
Here's the punt. It's going to be a high punt straight to the middle of the field. Bounce right at midfield and bounce back and be downed at about the 47-yard line of the Panthers. So we'll call that a net punt of 35 yards where the Lakeview will take over on offense. I don't see too many defensive substitutions as we still got our regulars in there.
I see a lot of them still in. 52 may be a New Jersey coming in, and 64, Josh is in now.
That's Marion Smith, the junior. 52, that's Reggie Reed.
All right, so those guys are some New Jerseys in there. Lakeview Field looks kind of damp from here.
First and 10 for the Gators, moving right to the left. Ball at the 46-yard line of the Panthers. It's Kevin Hickman in motion. It's going to be a give to him to the far side. He makes a move, and he's going to slip. He's still on his feet, breaking a bunch of Panther tackles, but they're going to stop him for no gain.
It looked like he was going to run for days, and he just got held up. Had to come out with the football, Josh, but I think it's going to be broke.
And I
think Lakeview, somebody got ejected, I think.
I see the white hat pointing. I think that's Kevin Hickman that's going to be.
Yeah, I think he got ejected. He just got ejected from the football game. And that official is highly upset with him.
After the play, Kevin Hickman, unsportsmanlike conduct. It's number 2. That's Kevin Hickman, and he's going to take a job to the locker room.
Yeah, he got tackled. Looked like he was going to have a bunch of yardage. The Panthers got there and just brought him down. And he must have got up and really did something over. Yeah, because there's two flags that flew at the same time, and Kevin Higgin, number 2, one of the top playmakers, just ran to the locker room. 2nd down and 9. They're giving a yard on that carry for the Gators, moving right to left, and they just looked deflated. Yeah, that's right. I got some telling them at the camp cooking. You kind of love it in. So I'm going to tell you, Teddy, you missed a good football game. You should have been here instead of cooking. We'll have a much better time. So, 2nd and 9 for the Gators, moving right to left. We got 5:19 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Panthers, very comfortable lead, 49-0. And that play there, Josh, is just he's just frustrated with the game, you know, and at this point, your coach kind of got to get a grip on the, and they're going to mark this off. 15-yarder, that back them up. Across midfield, now in their own territory at the 40-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down if they're able to go. We'll call it 30 yards. And the longest play from scrimmage for the Gators tonight has been 28 yards. Yeah, the Panthers have played, the defense have just continued to play like they have in the last 4 games. And they're wrapping up in the tackle. The first few games of the season, we missed a lot of tackles. They've gotten much better at that. Score update, Manny on top of Lake Charles Prep, 40-14. This Pike's on the far side. He's going to pick up about 6 yards. I thought 5 yards as he gets it near the 45-yard line. 3rd down and still about 20 to go. Yeah, that kid from Lakeview that got ejected, Josh, number 2, he was probably one of their best athletes on the field. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Mangum puts a whipping on Vidalia, 59-0. Wasn't much of a game there. I think Mangum put a whipping on just about everybody that play. Still no update on the Red River Boys game. We're still showing 8-6 in the 1st quarter, but I know there had to be some points scored. I think it was a homecoming game over there, too. All right, 3rd down and 20 to go for the Gators. They're in a 4-receiver set. Woods drops back in the pocket. He's tucked it now. He's going to run it up the middle, but he's going to be dragged down after about a 5-yard gain. There on the tackle is number 50, Kevin Armstrong. He's chased a lot of people down from behind. He tries for the football. It's so fun to watch him just get to the football, and he wraps it up. 4th and long, will be 4th and 14 for the Gators. And, I mean, you got no choice but to go for it here. Yeah, 4th and 14, ball right at midfield, moving right to left now. 3:26 on the game clock here in the 3rd quarter. 4-receiver set for Lakeview. Woods in the shotgun. Got back in the pocket, got a little time. He's going to throw it up. It's going to be a 50-50 ball, and it's going to be incomplete as Montalvo. And it's probably better that they didn't catch it. But I hate to say this, there was too many Panthers around the football. Yeah, they got some trouble. They had them outnumbered there about 6-2 as Slaughter and Pikes were in the vicinity. But, yeah, like I said, Howard and Montalvo went up with an interception as incomplete. But like you said, best case scenario there. So they get the ball, they catch it, they're tackled way back at the 30. The Panthers getting the ball at the 49-yard line. Jacoby Propel chips in at running back. Looks like the Panther offense has most of it started, but I do see number 8, Kyle Johnson, the 8th grader, entering the game. And he looks confused. He's running back and forth, trying to tell him where to go. 4-receiver set. Caleb Zonyard here to the near side, along with Johnson in the slot. Propel on the hit. It's going to be a handoff to Propel. He's not going to get anything up the middle. You got to blow that wheel for that big lineman picked up Propel and just slung him sideways. Also see number 59 playing offensive line. It's Leon Silveran. Give a shout out to the offensive line. Here we got Tyson Redmond, Colin Gallen, Nick Baines.
Leon Silveran. Second and about 11 for the Panthers, moving left to right. Ball in the middle of the field, three receivers here to the near side. Capel on Rebouche's left hip. Rebouche is going to throw it here to Johnson. He puts it upfield. He's going to be tackled close to the first down. I think he's going to have a face mask. Flag comes in from way back. Could it be a block in the back or a hold back there? But that is number 8, Kyle Johnson's first varsity reception. Yeah, and if it holds. Let's point at the flag. We see it, sir. It was a hold. That's going to negate that 8-yard pickup with a holding call against Bunkie that'll back them up. I sure would have liked to see that play stand with the 8 there. Yeah, he got the first down. He made a good run and he hit a big wall of linemen. They're backing out the good day. This is going to be a long shot here. From the spot of the foul, they're going to spot the ball at the 38-yard line in Panther territory. Second and about 22 to go. First down marker is right at the 40 on the other side of the field. Ball is on the near hash. I don't know if Rebouche is not the only starter. Him and is that number 2 Wells next to him. The only 2 starters really on offense left in the game. See Big Bang here at tackle. Okay, Bang is in near side. Wells on Rebouche's right hip. It's going to be a handoff to Wells. He slips through a couple defenders. He's going to get maybe to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Third down and 22 for the Panther offense. And I think Coach Nick's just trying to kill some clock. He's just going to try to run this out. The Panthers have a big lead, 49-0. Under a minute and a half here in the third quarter. They respot the ball. No gain. Ball's at the 38-yard line. Third and a long 22 to go. You think the Panthers are out here trying to pick up the first down? I don't think so, Josh. I think he's going to go back into that same and he's probably going to hand it. I'm sure he's telling them he don't even want him to carry the ball. Kyle Johnson in the slot, the 8th grader. And it looks like Lakeview's going to jump offside. That could be a false start. So I think they jumped. He's not even close. We should win on 2. I don't think you're going to run your quarterback here anymore, do you? I wouldn't. We got a big game against Manny next week. So just try to keep as many of your starters healthy as possible. Outside to give the Panthers 5 yards and a little better third down about 15. 2 receivers to the top. Wells on the Rebouche's left hip. He's just watching the clock. He's watching the official. Rebouche just sitting there. No play clock here. We're under 30 seconds here to go in the third quarter. Rebouche's going to roll out to his left. He's going to throw it in the flat. Hit Kyle Johnson on the sideline. Trying to stick a defender. He's tackled hard out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain. I'm happy to see and I see the skirmish now. The officials ran over there in a hurry. But I know when we played like that, and you saw one of our guys face down in the ground on the other sideline, the team usually came into your rescue. That's the wrong sideline to slam a defender out of bounds. For a defender to slam somebody out of bounds. You want to do that on your sideline. Yeah, you don't do it on the bench of the opposing team. 4th and about 13 for the Panthers. Game clock starts under 20 seconds, and this is the second punt for the Panthers. They're going to punt it away left to right, back to a C for Lakeview Gators is number 19, Dylan Pike, who's been most of their offense all night. He hit the snap, good snap, almost blocked, but it's going to be a good punt by John Michael, taken in by Pike at about the 22-yard line. He's running to the near sideline. He's going to be stacked up across the 30 and tackled where the Lakeview Gators will take over. You got a lot of young guys in there, Josh, and I tell you, they piled him up for the tackle, and the young guys just piled on top. They're going to make sure they win on that tackle. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I see there on the front team was number 11. That's a Britt Reshape. James Q1 was the one just dove in the pile. He said, I want some too. That is going to be it for 3 quarters of this football game. 49-0, Panthers lead. I'll keep it tuned here for the start of the 4th quarter. We listen to Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Time for Riding Shotgun with the Gunslinger. Tough questions for football tough guy, Brett Favre.
Dear Brett, my dog is too fat to jump in my truck. What should I do? First, go to favrates.com for a great auto quote in 4 minutes from Farm Bureau. Then, put your dog on a diet or get a little trampoline so it can bounce in your truck. Tough call. I'd go trampoline.
Great rates, fast claims, real service, auto, home, and life. Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau.
If you wanna pay more, that's your business. If you wanna pay less, that's our business. Farm value.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. One great deal.
Farm value.
Now that's a Bond Value.
Now, welcome back, folks. It's 49-0. Panthers on top of the Lakeview Gators here. After 3 quarters, Lakeview takes over the ball after a Panther punt on their own 34-yard line, moving left to right. 1st and 10 to go. Woods in the shotgun, up back. Looks like he's going to call his own number up the middle, and he's going to be met by Panther linebackers across the 35, so that's the 37. There on the tackle is Sauseda, along with number 56, Donovan Morton Hayes. 4-yard gain for Woods.
The clock's running, but I heard they said, Coach Nick said he didn't want to run the clock. We criticized him a little bit one time when he ran it, and that we could come back in the Red River game, so I said, maybe Coach Nick said I won't do that again.
2nd and 7 for the Gators. Ball across the 35. We'll call it 37. Woods in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to the right side to Pike, and Pike is stopped immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Hayden Sauseda comes up and makes a big hit. And he's not going to have anything there. 3rd down and 7 again for the Gators. I would think that this late in the ball game, you might be trying to pass it more.
I would have thought, I think Lakeview just wants to kill the clock at this point, maybe, and go home, The Panthers have served a lot of kids. Most of the starters are out.
10:40 here to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 7 for the Gators. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Woods in the shotgun with Pike on his left hip. He's going to keep it himself up the middle. And he'll go in again. There on the top of number 61, Cameron Reed, along with Hayden Sauseda and Trevor Gio.
These young guys got down at 60 foot, put his hands up. Somebody just rolled him and they said, well, he just got in the game and like trying to figure out what happened.
See Jacoby Capel playing cornerback here. 8th grader Kyle Johnson playing cornerback on the far side. 4th and 7 for the Lakeview Gators. Braden Woods in the shotgun. He might be punting this one off. He's 10 yards off the ball. He is. He's going to run it. It's going to be a poor punt here to the near side.
Wells went him back. He was just playing safety, and he almost made a catch there.
Rolls out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Panther offense takes over on their own 41, and a lot of fresh jerseys coming in. Again, the Panthers lead 49-0. 9:41 left to go here in this ball game.
And I think they're even going to put the freshman quarterback in. I see number 9.
Yeah, a lot of new jerseys here. We'll try to call them out. I think that's number 32. No, we don't have a 32 on the roster.
Yeah, let's see who they put in. It's 30. That's got to be Chandler Moore, the quarterback now. Rebouche is on the sidelines with his helmet off. I think he's done.
4 receiver set. Moore is going to give it up the middle, and that running back is tackled 4 yards in the back.
That was bad when you got your subs against, you still got the first team defense in there, and he blew up the play.
It's going to be a 5-yard loss on that play. A lot of new jerseys in there.
I think he actually hurt himself on the play. He made a good tackle. And he's losing. They better go see him, Josh. He's wobbling. He was going in Bucky's hole. I think he's
and he's kind of frustrated
it now. He don't want to. That's gonna. The pitcher's got to go and check on that guy. Yeah, they're gonna check on him. He's kind of woozy. He's working. He can't even stand up. That's number 68. That's Ireland. Made a big tackle in the backfield. Coach really got him. He in the Bunkie huddle after the play. He's confused. It's a big hit, but he might have did more damage to himself. Yeah, he hit his head, I guess, on the ground. He swung him around and Gavin Gio, wide receiver, checks into the game. Chandler Moore, at quarterback, he's in a shotgun. There's a high snap over his head. Whistles are blown. How do you blow the whistle? Didn't see what happened. It's been a pre-snap penalty. Flag is on the field. Might have been offside by the back judge. We'll see what the White Hats say. False start against the Panthers, but they actually saved them a turnover. Well, not only that, it would have been a huge loss on that play. Chandler didn't have a chance at that one. Second and about 18. Ball at the 34, moving right to left. It looks like 77 is doing the deep snapping. The snapping, I don't know if that's the same snapper that Graham has. You know, but you throw into a lot shorter guy here. Moore rolls out to the far side, looking to pass. He does throw it. It's going to be complete. I believe that's number 7. Logan Landon is still fighting. He's got the first down, Josh. That's a 20-yard pickup for Logan Sidbear, and that's Moore's first completion in a varsity football game. That's pretty cool. That's a good pickup. Hey, well, my first completion went for 22 yards. Not bad. Yep. Logan refused to go down. He was probably 8 yards behind the sticks, and he just kept fighting until they got the first down. First and 10 for the Panthers. They do have their backup in. We're under 8 minutes here to go in the fourth quarter of this football game. Panthers on top 49-0. Living there. All right. I'm going to say, get some work here. Gene, if you didn't come to this game thinking he wouldn't get in, you got his first pass and was the first down. Moore in the shotgun. There's going to be a handoff up the middle. You see about 2 yards on that carry. That's number 20. They have him on the roster as Desmond Armstrong, but that's not Desmond Armstrong. Pick up of 2 for the back. Not sure who that running back is. Number 20, I want to say. And Lakeview got another lineman down. 68 coming back in the game. I guess he passed his protocol there. Sat out for a couple plays. Allen's been, for Lakeview, he's been playing well tonight. And this would be better by the Panthers. When I come to the line and snap it, we catch him on the field. He's having a hard time getting off 65. He's been a workhorse in there for the Gators. He's tired. Second and 8 for the Panthers. On the Gator 45, moving right to left. Morrow sends out 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the top. We got Caleb Valiant running back. It's going to be a handoff to him to the right side. He's going to be tackled in the backfield. Nothing doing there. Third down and about 13 after that loss on that rush. Game clock under 7 minutes now. 3rd and 13. You let Morrow try to pick up the first down on the third down play? I like the last. It was an easy play call. Lakeview kind of tried to jump the route and he missed it, but Logan was able to get it. Had he actually got to that, it probably would have been a pick 6. So, you know, if you want to hold the 0 on the board, I'd say you just play it safe here. But that is your future right there, Chandler. It is. That's getting a little work. And a shotgun, he's going to send Johnson in motion. It's going to be a toss to him to the near side. He's going to be tackled in the backfield. Good up to about 53 for Gators, not giving up and getting to the outside. That's going to be, that comes another flag from way over here, Josh. Is that going to give the Panthers a first down? If it's a personal foul, it's going to be very close, and the ref is pointing towards the sideline. Don't know what this could be about. Dylan Pike off the field, and he's going to go to the locker room. He throws his helmet on the sideline. Looks like he might be ejected. Yeah, it looks like he cursed and got ejected. He's walking on the track. He threw his helmet down. That's 2 players so late. You get ejected out of the football game. 2 of the last players. If you're a coach, you gotta get some discipline in the boys. 6 minutes to go, and now if I'm Coach Nick, I think I go for it on 4th down. After that personal foul, they get the Panthers a little closer to the first down, about 4 yards to pick it up as they respot the ball
at the 40-yard line. First down marker is about the 37. Moving right to left. Chandler Moore at quarterback. Logan Sinver in the slot. Big reset here, wide receiver to the near side, and there's some confusion as Logan Sinver and Chandler Moore have a little conversation. Referee's about to go to whistle. Here we go. Clock starts, 6 minutes and counting. 4th and 4 to go. Chandler Moore gets back now. Looks like he's going to punt from the quarterback position. Looks a high punt in over in. Hits at the 20. And the Gators are going to let it go and be down at the 11-yard line where Lakeview will get another chance on offense moving left to right. And it looks like they're just running the clock in, Mike. So, all right, they actually stop it at 5:39. They got a few more seconds out of it. I think, Mike, it looks to me that Wilbur wants to hold on to this shutout as he's sending his first team defense back to the field. Yeah. Few new jerseys in there. We got Cotero in there playing quarterback. Number 62. I'm sorry, that's not number 62. It's 63, Basic Cooper. That is the Panthers' only female football player enters the game at the event. They're good to play. Congratulations, Basic Cooper. Here's a handoff here to the near side. Running back gets a few blocks. He's going to have the first down and then tap it out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Down to tackle John Michael Eves and number 61, Cameron Reed. First down, pickup for the Lakeview Gators. I didn't have that ball carried on the roster. Number 19, Dylan Pikes, was ejected and disqualified from the game, as well as number 2, Kevin Hickman, the 2 lead carriers on the team. Pushing 5 minutes here in the fourth quarter. First and 10 to go. Here's another handoff. Number 25 on the near side. And he's going to be tackled after about a 3-yard gain on the sideline there. On the tackle, again, number 61, Cameron Reed. Trevor Gio is going to come off the field now. Philip Gaillon checks in at linebacker. Jacoby Capel, linebacker. John Michael Eves, linebacker. Looks like Wilbur took out his first-string linebackers. Yeah, he going to try to protect them guys now. Now it's just about pride. 2:37 left in the game. 2nd and 6. Woods is going to drop back. He lets it go. And it's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver with Slaughter. Slaughter had position on Wells. Wells just came over the top and got the ball out. I think Wells might be the only defensive starter in the game at this time. 51 coming in, Josh. He looks really, really young. I'm going to congratulate him. Don't have him on the roster, right? So, he's just excited to be in there. Get some varsity playing time. Panthers now have all of their secondary players in there on defense except Xavier Wells. We got Kyle Johnson playing safety. Here's going to be a handoff to the near side. It's a good tackle. There was. That's number 54, Cameron Reed. That's his third tackle. He came off and made a hit. And also, 63, you said we had a girl on the team, and she was coming in there to make a stop. That's Daisha Cooper, the Panthers' only female football player. Cameron Reed, that was a textbook tackle. Got his head across the body, lift and drove off the ball carrier into the ground. 4th and 4 for the Lakeview Gators. We're under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, the Panthers on top, 49-0. Woods is in the shotgun. 2 receivers each side. Slaughter's in the slot. Going to be a handoff here to the near side. That's number 25. He's going to have the first down a little bit more before being tackled by Xavier Wells. Good pick up there for the Gators. First down. Lakeview first down. Clock continues to run as he was tackled inbounds. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line in Panther territory.
And at this point, Lakeview, they're trying to hurry up. They just want to put some points on the board, Josh.
Here's a handoff, and this ball carrier's going to be stuck up in the backfield. It's going to be John Michael Lee,
I think
sophomore.
if that official let that, to me, go a little too far.
He's been a lot this
He
year.
got him wrapped up, and it looked like 5 seconds. And you set that up for somebody to come and explode on that kid. And I think you blow the whistle a little bit before that.
The players are taught you go to the whistle.
You go to the whistle. So, I mean, they're not giving up. If you let him go, it's still live.
Second and 14 for the Gators. Ball on the 48, moving left to right. Woods in the shotgun. Keeping himself to the left side. He's got a lane there, and he's going to be stacked up right around the 40-yard line and just short of the first down. About a 2 yards short as Woods keeps it himself to the left side. Third down, and we'll call it 3 yards. It's going to be 3 yards short. Woods in the shotgun. They put a fumble. Number 25 picks it back up. He's got a little lane here to the near side. And the Panthers game tackle, number 25.
These young guys, Josh, they're putting out. These big backs, they're no joke. They really big. And Lakeview's got their first team still in there. So when they're hitting these young guys at the line, they're getting 3 or 4 yards. They're pushing them back, but they're not backing down.
Good experience here for these second-team guys. So it's going to be a Lakeview first down. We're approaching 2 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Woods in the shotgun. There's a snap. He's going to keep it himself again. Finds a little lane up the middle, runs over a few defenders, and finally tackled near the 23-yard line. Looks like he's going to have another Lakeview first down. He's there on the tackle, number 64, and Marion Smith. So happy these guys are getting experience next year. Some of these players are going to have to step up. They're going to be the ones out there. We lose a lot of seniors. And off to number 25, John Michael Lee makes a tackle in the backfield. And Capel, number 30, getting up, and he's helping Lakeview up. Clock still running, 1:28 on the clock. And this is all about just trying to put some points on the board, Josh. The Panthers are leading 49-0. Next week, we host the Manny Tigers.
Yep, last regular season game and a season, Jack, hard to believe.
Hard to believe. We had a 7-season, only 8 games, and it went by fast. There's Woods. He drops back. He's going to throw it. It's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver, number 12. Stops the clock at a minute 12.
I'm excited. I think the Panthers, if you come out, they got a lot of confidence. They've won. This is their 4 in a row. So, and this is the best we've done in district. We 4-1 in district, 3-1 in district. No, 4-1 in district, right?
That's right.
4-1 in district. I don't ever remember that. Going into the Manny game, a lot of confidence, and the Panthers are going to give Manny a good game.
Here's the handoff to the right side, and it's going to be a tackle again by John Michael Lee in the backfield.
So Lee is playing hard.
He's getting his money's worth here in the fourth quarter. Right a minute to go. Fourth down. This is probably going to be the last play of the football game. As the Lakeview Gators looking at a fourth and about 16 to go.
Yeah, 35 seconds on the clock, and
Manny's one of the best football teams in the state. They're going to play next week, but the Panthers have a lot of momentum going into that game. It's a handoff. Straight to the right side, and Jacoby Capel is going to come in and make that tackle.
And that may do it, Josh.
It looks like a timeout was called.
They may have called a timeout. He might try to score here.
Well, it's going to be a turnover on downs. That was fourth down. So that's what it stopped the clock as we changed possessions here. I forgot it was fourth down. 18 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Panthers on top. 49-0. And I'm thinking we're just going to take a knee right here.
Yeah, you're going to take a knee, and those young guys stepped up, so them young guys to step up and hold the whole Lakeview's first team offense to 0 points in almost the fourth quarter was pretty impressive.
We want to thank our sponsors as Panthers get the victory formation. Pre-game brought to you by Josh Sauseda Farm Bureau. Kickoff, Shaw Super Center. First downs, Sunlight LLC. Touchdowns and post-game show, which is coming up shortly, Vaughn Motors. And that is going to be it as Rebouche takes the knee. The Panthers take this in show and play of the game, LaPointe Eye Clinic scores and updates. Central Louisiana Insurance Consultant. Other sponsors include J&J Exterminating, Capital Signs with Bunkie, and Barry Lesh, attorney at law there in Marksville. Thank you to all our sponsors, and thank you to everyone at the radio station, Maddie, our girl working the board there, back at Moorville at the station, everybody at Z95.9. Panthers take this from 49-0 on the road, their fourth consecutive district win. Y'all keep it tuned here for the post-game show brought to you by Vaughn Motors as we select the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. This is the Bunkie Panthers Radio, Z95.9.
If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to pay less, that's our business. Vaughn Value.
Real value, real savings. Find it at vaughnvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. One great deal.
Vaughn Value.
Now that's a Vaughn value.
Louisiana pests can be a formidable opponent, but J&J Exterminating is ready to tackle them on their own turf. J&J Exterminating is Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, and we know what works in Louisiana's climate, from ants to termites and everything in between. J&J Exterminating will protect your home or business with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get the shield.
J&J Exterminating.
Yeah.
For all your eye care needs, it's LaPointe Eye Clinic in Bunkie. Dr. Paul LaPointe and his staff invite you in. Glasses, contact lenses, eye exams. It's all in one place. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive. Call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
Hi, welcome back, folks. Thanks for keeping it tuned here for the Vaughn Motors post-game show. What a game, Mike. Thank God.
They came out from the start, and they just continued. The one thing we have noticed all year long with the Panthers, they have never given up in a football game. They have come back. We've been down 24 points. We came back in that block game. They continue to fight. They did that tonight again. They just continue to fight and keep pushing.
And just improving each and every week on both sides of the ball. That's the defense's first shutout of the season. They've given up less than 20 points. Less than 25 points the past 3 games.
Yeah, that's good.
Lights out defense. Offense came out hot, didn't slow down, and it's just incredible.
They had a great game plan, and I think you talked about it. The coaching staff has they got the kids on board, and they need some credit for what they've done.
They do a lot that goes unseen and unpraised, Mike. They're there early, every day at the field house. They're there late. They're there on the weekends, studying film. LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game goes to the entire coaching staff.
They worked hard, and they were well prepared. They've gotten the Panthers prepared, and I look forward to the rest of the season because I think the Panthers got a chance to scare some people.
And this is going to, I'm 99.9% sure this is going to show up a home playoff game.
There's no question about it.
Against a lower seed team, this is a good shot. I'll name the coaches real quick. Head coach Nick Pujol, also offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator William Williver, who got Reagan Lemoyne, coaches offensive line Jordan Jackson, a former Bunkie Panther, coaches DBs. Janelle Juno, newest addition to the coaching staff, quarterback in DBs. Also, we've got Kobe Gallen, former Bunkie Panther, helping out with the offensive line, Coach John Fletcher as well. Am I missing anybody?
Dylan West.
Dylan West.
Doing a good job.
And Paul Newton, Coach Paul Newton.
Those guys put in a lot of work that nobody sees. So, and it shows. It showed here tonight. They had kids get kicked out of the game, and that was just this one.
Yeah. Panthers on a roll, 4th district win in a row. That gives they're 5-2.
5-2. Coach Nichols had his first winning season. I tell you that. Go Panthers. I think we got a chance. Y'all tune in next week. We're going to give Manny all they can take.
We're going to give them all they can take. You're right about that. Looking forward to it. Again, the Panthers take this from 49-0 on the road here in Canton, Louisiana, over the Lakeview Gators. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Me and Mike, I'll see you next week as we host the Mighty Tigers at home. God bless.
You've been listening to Bunkie High School Football, brought to you by the Bunkie Panther Club. Join us next time when once again your mighty Bunkie Panthers will be on the air, brought to you by the Bunkie Panther Club. Thank you for listening and have a safe weekend. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you as a live presentation on Z95.9 KZLG.
Just